Three, two. There's still no numbers. I don't know why I'm counting down. Welcome back to the fifth. I'm pretty sure this is the fifth episode of the Real Duo Podcast, aka the Keanu Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Wade.
And I'm one of your hosts, Devin. I want to add to that AKA. It's also the most mediocre podcast on YouTube.
Oh, for sure. For sure. The only mediocre podcast on the internet.
It is. It's the only one. There's either garbage
or super high quality.
Or high quality, and we're the only ones in the middle.
Yep. That's the speciality we bring to the podcast game. What have you been watching this week, Devin?
I told you this already. I watched Batman Begins for the first time. Yep. And then I actually went and rewatched Lilo and Stitch. That's the only thing I've seen this
Why
week.
Those two? Those are so bizarre.
I was just sitting at home going through Netflix.
Did you like Batman Begins?
I told you my thoughts. It was fine. I didn't think it was amazing, and I didn't think it was bad, but it was kind of average. It was average.
Batman Begins is awesome, dude. I love Batman Begins.
There wasn't anything that stuck out to me like this is an amazing movie.
It's definitely the weakest of the three, I'd say.
I still need to watch Dark Knight Rises. I've seen The Dark Knight. I've seen Batman Begins.
The best Batman movie.
I'm getting through the Batman movies so that you can have a whole podcast discussion on them.
Oh yeah,
one day,
one of these days. You're halfway there. You got to sit through like Batman and Robin and Batman Forever.
I'm excited to watch the Michael Keaton ones. To be honest.
Oh my god, the Batman and Batman Returns are fucking great. I think they're really underrated. They're really good, really good.
I can't wait. I'll watch them eventually.
How did you like Lilo and Stitch? I haven't seen that movie in like 10 years.
It actually holds up pretty well. It's a pretty heartwarming movie for kids. Do not recommend watching any of the other ones though. I did watch some. of
Lilo and Stitch.
I did because they're all on Netflix, and I was like, sure.
Oh, you watched all three? You watched the other ones?
Yeah. They don't hold up as well as the first one.
Oh my god.
Especially the second one.
Which one is Leroy and Stitch? Is that the third one?
It's the fourth. Because there's Lilo and Stitch. There's Lilo and Stitch 2. Stitch has a glitch. And then there's just Stitch the movie. And then there's Leroy and Stitch.
Some like dying animal outside my window or something. I've never seen Leroy and Stitch, so I don't know where that. But that one always was bizarre to me. I was like, who the fuck is Leroy, and why is he here, and why is it?
Watch it on Netflix, and then you'll
not
know.
Gonna watch it on Netflix. I have no interest in seeing it.
All right, you ready to get into the news?
I am.
Did you watch anything this week? Do you want to talk about?
I've just been watching. I've been like flip flopping between Daredevil and then the '60s Batman show. Ben
Affleck Daredevil or Daredevil show?
The fucking show, Devin. Who do you think I am?
You're a big what's his name fan?
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, yeah.
I am a big Ben Affleck fan, and I don't hate the movie. The movie isn't great, but it's not terrible.
You still need to watch Elektra that you have two versions of.
I have one version now because I sold the DVD.
Oh, well, okay. Well, you still own it.
Director's cut, which I don't know if that's any better because I haven't seen the original, so I don't know.
You watch it one day and tell me how it is. I know it's bad, but just tell me how it is.
I know. I've been dreading. Everyone said it's bad. I think my brother saw it when it came out in theaters, and he was like, "Yeah, this is bad." And it came out in like 2005. I was like, Jesus Christ.
All right, I'm ready to get into the news if you are. I got some stuff to talk about.
Let's go.
You want me to start? Want me to go?
If you want to, yeah.
All right.
You usually start with the news.
Disney's Hercules remakes wants Alex Skarsgård in the lead. Apparently, this is a live-action Hercules movie.
They're doing fucking Hercules now? Are you serious?
Yes.
I mean, Alexander Skarsgård, if they're going to get anybody for Hercules, this dude's like perfect.
He would fit the role amazing.
This dude is massive. I've never seen a bigger human being in my life.
I mean, Terry Crews is a pretty big human being.
I mean, he's pretty big. He ain't no Alexander Skarsgård. Alexander Skarsgård, him in that, like, what was it, Tarzan movie? He's looking bigger than the goddamn gorillas that are in that movie. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Cut his hair. He could do it. I just don't see why this movie has to exist.
Because I'm starting to agree with your theory that Disney is making a cinematic universe out of all these live action remakes.
It's either that or they're just out of ideas and they're just give us money.
Yeah, that too.
It's one of those two. It'd be weird if they did a cinematic universe, but they might be.
Speaking of the live action Disney movies, the Lion King Rotten Tomatoes score starts out with a 59.
Yeah, I have. I've been seeing reviews of the Lion King, and everyone has been saying it's gorgeous, and a lot of the songs are really good. But other than that, it's like there's no real. It's like a soulless remake, and I'm like, yeah, I fucking could have told you that. That's why I didn't go see it.
I was gonna say you said that when they announced it was happening.
Yeah, like it, and they've said it's literally the beat for beat the same movie, just with like a couple little things different. I'm like, all right, cool. That's exactly what I've been saying since the fucking first trailer. Go watch the original Lion King because it's great.
I'm sure it is gorgeous looking. I'm sure it looks amazing.
It looks, from the trailers, it looks gorgeous. The biggest issue I had with it, which apparently is an issue that everyone else all of a sudden has, is that the lions and the animals show no emotion because the animals don't show emotion.
How do you have an animal show emotion? You can't. That's why the cartoon. That's why the cartoon's so much better.
Yeah,
because they can show emotion in the live action.
Well, it's not live action for one; it's CG. But they can do that with CG. I mean. Make them look goofy and cartoony. It's a fucking movie with talking animals. Why does it have to look photorealistic?
Because that's how everything has to be nowadays.
Bullshit.
They're trying to pull an Avatar and make $1 bajillion.
Don't do that. Because it'll bite you in the butt.
There's a new Saw movie coming out.
I think Chris Rock is directing it or like producing it or something.
Chris Rock is starring in it with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, that's some news I had. Sam Jackson was added to the thing. I know the Chris Rock Saw thing was news like a while ago, and I don't really care about Saw all that much. I saw the first one, and I was like, all right, cool, it's a fine movie. And I thought the last movie was supposed to be the last one, but I guess not.
Like, is this supposed to be an actual sequel, or is it just like a reboot, or like what's going on here? Everyone's
saying it's a reboot. I don't know. I think there was a plot synopsis that like they put out, and I heard someone like talk about it and read it, and it didn't sound like it was a sequel. I mean, it could be, I guess, because none of the Saw movies really have any real tight continuity or anything. So I mean, like, it could be a sequel, it could be a reboot. It doesn't matter. I think they're pulling a Halloween. We're like, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Fuck it. We just want more money.
Is Chris Rock actually gonna act in this? Like, is he gonna like try hard in this?
I don't know. I mean, Chris Rock. I've only seen in a few movies, and they must have been comedic movies. But I'm sure he's a good actor.
I mean, he's in Madagascar.
He's in Madagascar. The performance of a lifetime playing a zebra. I've never seen him. I don't know if this is gonna be. I have a feeling this is going to be like a horror comedy because that's how everything is now. Every movie that in the last like 5-6 years has just been, we got to fucking make it super funny and goofy because people like fun, goofy jokes and shit. Like, just make a creepy horror movie.
Yeah, I could totally see it being maybe not even a horror comedy, maybe more of an action comedy, to be honest.
Maybe. Or, fuck, what if they make it a parody? What if it's a parody of all the other Saw movies?
That would be amazing. I would totally go and watch that.
That'd be pretty fun. I'd actually watch that, but I don't know if it is. I don't think it is. And it makes sense that Sam Jackson's in it because he'll do fucking anything.
And then keeping with this horror theme, the next 2 Halloween sequels are apparently shooting back to back and are going to be released within the same month.
In the same month?
Yep.
Why?
I don't know.
This is weird. And I blame Marvel for this. Because movies need to stop doing this. Because I think Avatar 3 and 4 are coming out within like a couple weeks or whatever.
I've heard about that. They are coming out within the same year, but one's coming out at the beginning of the year, one's coming out at the end.
That's bullshit. I don't care. Space these movies out. For one, why are you filming 2 Halloween movies back to back? Is this going to be like an epic like conclusion to the Halloween franchise? Like, nobody cares. Put them out whenever you want. Put them out on Halloween, for fuck's sakes. Can we get a Halloween movie on Halloween?
And then, like, unless the first one ends on like some sort of major cliffhanger, what's the point in putting them out back to back like that? Like,
I mean, I'm sure it will because, can't let a franchise die or anything. And that's something I'm going to talk about later with some of the news that I got. Because it's getting real fucking annoying that none of these franchises are ending. And they just keep bringing them back. But they'll probably, the first one will probably have some kind of cliffhanger and be like, oh, come back in like 2 days and see the next one. Give us more money. See the same goddamn thing.
I haven't seen the new Halloween movie.
I haven't either.
I don't know if it even needs 2 sequels. Does it even need 2 sequels?
The original Halloween movie didn't need any sequels, and it got like 8.
I know. This is like the 10th Halloween movie we're getting.
Yeah, so it's like, it's horror. This is why I don't really like the horror genres, because they always there's always one really good movie that comes out, and then it's like, fuck, what do we do? And then they just make 8 more that ruins the movie.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens, because they just try to redo everything over and over.
The first one was successful, and they're like, fuck, how do we do it again, but make it different?
I know, let's do it again.
Let's just do it again.
Nobody will notice.
Let's give it the same title.
And then I got some more. Evil Dead movie franchise will return. Sam Raimi is working on it right now.
Yeah, I've been hearing about it. He's been talking about this. I don't know what this means. I don't know if they're going to try and like continue with the reboot stuff, because the reboot came out in like 2013, and that was supposed to spawn like a whole new thing, and then it didn't, and then it came back and did the show. I know Bruce Campbell's like involved with it. He's probably not going to star in it because he's getting old and he's already retired the character, even though I'm pretty sure he's going to show up in Mortal Kombat. So he's a liar. But because he said a while ago after the show ended, he was like, no, I'm done. I'm too old for this character. And everyone's like, no, you're going to be in Mortal Kombat. But I mean, hey, I like Evil Dead. I didn't really love the reboot all that much, but if Sam Raimi's involved, I'll watch him. Evil Dead's a wacky, weird franchise, and I love it.
I was going to say, Sam Raimi has a pretty good background on this stuff, He's good with horror. He's good with goofy nonsense. So make more goofy horror nonsense. Yeah, just keep doing that. Let's see, what else do I got? Oh, Game of Thrones prequel title announced.
What is it?
I don't know.
Game of Chairs?
Oh, no. Sorry. It may have been revealed. Sorry, I misread. It may have been revealed by George R.R. Martin, but it didn't actually come out yet.
I don't understand why the show exists.
I don't know why it needs a prequel. Apparently, the end of it sucked anyways.
Like, they're going to... Again, it's the same thing with Breaking Bad. It's like, Better Call Saul is fine, and it's a fine show. But, like, it didn't need to happen. You could have just had Breaking Bad, and that was it. And it's just all these TV shows. This is why I don't like TV. Is like, it's Game of Thrones is ending, but not really, because we have a new show coming out in 6 months. And it's a prequel, and it's not going to have any of the characters you like in it. It's just like, everything sucks, and I hate it.
And then, I don't even think they're bringing back the same writers or anything. So it's going to be...
they're doing Star Wars now.
Yeah, it's going to be a completely different show.
Yeah. It's just going to be in the world of Game of Thrones, but it's going to be completely different. And everyone hates Game of Thrones now, so I don't know how...
Yeah, I mean, you just ended it on a bad note. Let's let it sit for a minute before we even talk about doing prequels and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Breaking Bad, they haven't done anything for 5 years or something?
Well,
and now...
Better Call Saul.
Oh, yeah.
That one for like a few years. It's on like season 6 almost.
I forgot about Better Call Saul. I haven't watched any of it.
Better Call Saul is good. It's no Breaking Bad, but it's good.
I was going to say, but Breaking Bad's talking about that movie that they want to do.
And yeah, that's weird. I don't know how I feel about that.
Gotta keep making the money.
Just gotta keep pumping the shit out. Gotta have the Breaking Bad cinematic universe.
You got any horror genre stuff you want to talk about?
I don't have any horror stuff because I don't really care about horror. Other than, does Terminator count?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Is that still technically a horror franchise?
Yes, if you want to talk about Terminator.
Apparently, the director came out. He released a statement saying that Terminator Dark Fate will scare the fuck out of internet misogynists.
I don't believe that for a second.
I don't know why he gives a shit. I mean, this isn't a movie that is like... The first 2 Terminator movies had a female action hero in it. Like, no, if anyone's going into this expecting... Oh, it's a macho, like, man thing. Like, why? Everyone has seen Terminator 1 and 2. They know that it has a female action star in it. Like, who gives a shit?
The new actor, she just seems so bland. At least in the trailer. I haven't seen
that
the
was
movie.
A bad trailer.
That trailer was bad, and I hate seeing it every time I go to the movies. Like, I'm just like...
Yeah, they keep fucking showing. I'm like, God, either release some new shit or don't show that trailer because that's an awful trailer.
The only thing I like about that trailer is the music. I don't even know why I like the music. I just do.
The music fits. If the trailer was better, the music would have helped.
It shows nothing. It's just like, oh, there's a guy throwing a spear thing.
No,
see,
I think it shows too much. I think it shows too much, and it's really uninteresting. I mean, it's just it's a remake of Terminator 2 with some ideas from Terminator 3 and some ideas from Genesis and some ideas from Salvation. It's just like all the bad Terminator movies. Let's take the good ideas from them and just make a new movie with them. That's all it is.
And then it had Arnold in it.
It's got Arnold somehow, even though he fell into lava in the second one.
He came back for all the other movies after that too.
Yeah, how does that make any sense?
Except for Salvation, but he was CGI'd in.
He's still technically in Salvation.
He was CGI'd in.
So
why don't you just do that? Why don't you just make him CGI young again for the entire movie?
I don't want that to the whole movie. He looks so weird.
I was gonna say they have to slim him down with CGI.
But he's got a beard now. Apparently, Terminators can grow facial hair, which is odd.
Apparently. I mean, they have hair on top of their heads. Why can't they?
Yeah, but that makes it. That's not growing though.
It could be.
Their hair stays the same. They just put like little, fake hair in it. You're gonna go through that much effort to do that with his face? Why? Or are you gonna give him beard hair? That doesn't make sense.
Make it realistic.
That doesn't make any fucking sense though.
Why are you questioning the lore of the Terminator movie?
Because it's quite good, and they just keep ruining it with every new movie. It's
not good. The only two good movies are the first two.
No, the lore. I like the lore of it. The franchise isn't very good though, but I like the lore of Terminator, and they keep fucking it up. Every movie retcons the last movie, and I hate it.
I mean, that's true. Terminator 3 just completely is like, oh, Terminator 2 was to stop the explosion, but it happens in Terminator 3, so fuck you.
It's just gonna happen anyway. It's gonna happen no matter what. So Terminator 2 is fucking pointless.
I got some Stranger Things season 4. I don't watch Stranger Things. But I heard that it's becoming a phenomenon because apparently season 3 was amazing. Apparently, the Duffer Brothers, I guess they're the ones who made it. They say that season 4 is going to have a very different feel to it. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means because I don't watch the show.
I don't know either.
I didn't think Stranger Things was still relevant.
Season 3 just came out and everybody says it's amazing.
Yeah, they said that with the last two as well, and I don't believe them because very few shows can have like 3 really great consistent seasons.
I mean, what if it is though? What if it is?
I mean, I'm sure the show's fine. I'm not shitting on the show. I haven't seen it, but it doesn't appeal to me because I'm not a huge fan of just like, hey, look at nostalgia. Isn't this cool? Remember Jaws? Like, yeah, I remember Jaws. I watched Jaws as a kid. Like, yeah, I remember the movie. Cool.
My brother.
That's all Stranger Things seems like it is.
Dylan's watched it, and he says it is really good. It's one of his few favorite shows that he has.
I'm sure it's fine, and maybe once it's over, I'll check it out, but I don't really have any interest in it.
Apparently, it's getting a season 4, which is better than Daredevil.
Don't you mention Daredevil on this podcast, sir.
You know that you're still salty about that.
I am.
It may return one day. You never know.
It's going to. If Disney's smart, I'll bring it back.
I got this. You saw Rocket Man, right? Yeah.
I did see Rocket Man.
The filmmaker Dexter Fletcher, he's on board with the new Sherlock Holmes movie starring Robert Downey Jr. That's
news I had as well. I haven't seen the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies. Apparently, people really like them and they're really good. And Dexter Fletcher, he did. I think he did the reshoots on Bohemian Rhapsody, which is like most of the movie. And I really loved Rocket Man. So I mean, hey, if I might go see this movie because he did a really good job.
I didn't know Robert Downey Jr. was still connected to the Sherlock Holmes movies after being on Marvel for so long.
Well, didn't he? The last one came out like 10 years ago.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't know he was still connected to it. How many movies was he in? Just 2?
2,
or
yeah.
1? 2?
He did 2.
Apparently
they're good. I've heard good things about them.
I haven't seen any Sherlock Holmes movies.
Are you serious?
To be honest, I haven't seen any. Holmes and Watson.
Go fuck yourself.
I didn't watch that.
It's not a Sherlock Holmes movie.
But I heard it was
That's
terrible.
Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly acting like fucking 2-year-olds.
It's like Step Brothers 2.
No, Step Brothers is actually good though.
It is. I love that movie.
Holmes and Watson looks like it's made for like Doesn't even look like it's made for like kids. It looks like it's made for like retarded kids.
It reminds me so much of Daddy's Home, and I don't know why.
Oh my god, I've seen both Daddy's Home movies, and
so have I. And
I don't know why, because I didn't like the first one, and then I was like, maybe the second one's a little bit better because I like fucking Mel Gibson and John Lithgow. Then I watched it, and I was like, nope, just as bad.
I actually thought the second one was just slightly better. I think they're both still crap, but I thought the second one was just slightly better. It actually made me laugh twice.
Brain space in my head.
It made me laugh twice, and the first one didn't make me laugh at all. So
I don't think either of them made me laugh.
I got some Space Jam 2 news.
Space Jam 2.
Don Cheadle's joining the cast.
Why?
I don't know.
Who's he? Is he like voicing?
I don't know. They just said he's joining the cast.
Don Cheadle can't play basketball.
What if he's like the old Michael Jordan?
Fuck. Is he gonna be in like the Bill Murray role? Where he just comes in, says like goofy shit, and then he's in the movie for like 10 minutes.
That'd be amazing, actually. I would totally.
Bring back Bill Murray though.
Bill Murray's doing other stuff.
He ain't doing shit.
He's doing Ghostbusters 3.
He's gonna be in Ghostbusters 3 for like 5 seconds, and he's gonna be in a chair the whole time. He doesn't give a fuck about Ghostbusters 3.
He's gonna pull a what's his name from Jurassic World?
Oh, Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, he'll be in the beginning and the end for 5 minutes. He didn't give a fuck about Ghostbusters 3. Bring back fucking Bill Murray for Space Jam 2, because he's the best part of Space Jam 2, and he's only in it for like 2 scenes.
There's so many people attached to this movie. It makes me think that it's an actual blockbuster movie, when Space Jam 1 was not a blockbuster movie.
Space Jam 1 also isn't very good. I mean, I own it on Blu-ray for some reason. I have the Steelbook. I don't know why, but I grew up with it as a kid, and I loved it as a kid. But go back and watch that movie. It's not very good.
It's not. It's just kind of goofy.
It's just like, hey, watch Michael Jordan just like abuse these Looney Tunes for like an hour and a half. It's so like stupid, and I don't understand why it exists. So I don't really know why Space Jam 2 is happening, because if they're gonna make Space Jam 2 like a real movie, it'll feel out of place. Make it shit.
I mean, it feels like it's going to be they have like 5 NBA stars and WNBA stars, and then they're actually getting real actors for it. So I don't know.
I have a feeling, is Shaq in this movie?
Not that I've heard.
Shaq needs to be in this movie.
He was in Uncle Drew. He only gets one every 5 years.
That's unfortunate.
We saw his bare ass in that too.
He did. And it has to be his, because no one else is that fucking tall.
Yeah, true. They couldn't put a stand in for him. Yeah. They had to, unless everybody else was just a midget and we didn't notice because we were looking at Shaq's ass.
Maybe. But I feel like Shaq would be like, no, I have to show my ass. It's important to the story.
It's in my contract.
It's in my contract. Every movie I have to show my ass at least once. Like, nobody wants to see your ass, Shaq.
Did he show his ass in Steel?
Probably.
Just a little glimpse, like he didn't. He had to.
Actually, he might have. I haven't seen Steel in a while.
Didn't he catch on fire or something? And like you saw his butt. I feel like he did.
He caught on fire, but I don't think you saw his butt.
We're gonna have to go rewatch.
Yeah, I gotta rewatch Steel.
And then if he's Galactus in the MCU, he could just be naked.
Oh my god. No, I don't want that. That sounds horrifying. That sounds scarier than fucking Saw.
Just a giant Shaq floating
black butt
floating through space.
I don't want
eating
that.
Planets with his butt.
Yeah, that sounds awful. I don't want that. He eats the planets with his butt?
With his butt. He sucks them up.
No, I don't
it's like a reverse fart. He just sucks them up.
Ew.
And then the last thing I got I got 2 more things that are not amazing news, but it's news. The Big Lebowski sequel is going to be called Jesus Rolls.
Well, it's a spin-off with John Turturro's character in that movie. And I found out that this movie was shot in like 2015, and it's been done, and they've just been like holding on to it for some reason.
I was gonna say it's coming out next year, so they had to have been working on it.
Yeah, like it's finished apparently. Like they already finished it like 5 years ago almost. But I just don't understand. Is Big Lebowski still like relevant? Like I don't think people really give that much of a shit.
You know what? You know what did it? Endgame, when they mentioned it, and they're like, "Oh shit, we got to drop the sequel."
It's had a resurgence.
We've got to drop the sequel.
I mean, I like Big Lebowski, and I liked when Jeff Bridges like reprise the role, and he did like a Heineken commercial like not too long ago where he was reprising his character in that, and that was fun. That's all we need. I don't want a sequel. I don't want a spinoff. I don't want this to be a Big Lebowski franchise. Just give me a fucking movie. Like, just make it a movie. Leave it alone.
They're gonna have Chris Hemsworth in it as Big Lebowski.
Probably, dude. If they, it wouldn't surprise me if they do a Big Lebowski prequel and they get like Chris Hemsworth or somebody.
That would be actually hilarious.
No, I don't want that.
I wouldn't watch it, but I think it'd be a hilarious concept.
I don't want that at all.
And then I have a couple more things, and two of them I'm saving for you because I just want to know your reaction to it. But this one is just news that I'm kind of excited for. But Mario Kart is officially coming out for Android phones soon, next month.
Oh shit!
Yeah, everybody's been
like an updated Mario Kart.
No, it's just Mario Kart for your phone. But apparently, it's so that like you can play with your friends or whatever. And everybody's been like, okay, if there's ever an argument, race me a Mario Kart, and that's how we're gonna solve this argument. I'm like, okay. I'm okay with this.
That's usually how Mario Kart works.
This is going to be the Pokemon Go of this year. That's what's going to happen.
Why isn't there like a Mario Kart Go?
What would you do? What would you collect? Wheels?
You go around. You collect cars.
Cars?
Yeah, you drive around.
Oh, I got Bowser's car.
There's a fucking Harry Potter Go or whatever it's called. Why isn't there a Mario Go? Yeah. Came out recently and everyone's been like, oh my god, Harry Potter. I've never seen Harry Potter before, but I love Harry Potter.
I mean, I don't know what you would do with Harry Potter Go either.
You just do wizard shit. I don't know.
I never did get the Pokemon Go. Never did.
I didn't either because I don't like it. When they come out with Digimon Go, I'm gonna get it day one because Digimon was my shit. I don't care at all about Pokemon.
Bakugan.
Bakugan. I don't think that would work as a mobile.
That hasn't been relevant in like years. I don't even think anybody said Bakugan.
That hasn't been relevant since we were in like fucking elementary school.
I know. I remember on the playground using those things.
Yeah, they were like drug deals.
And then I remember teachers were like, "That's real world trading. You can't do that."
Yeah, that's fucking gambling. It's like we don't know what gambling is yet. We're just throwing toys on fucking cars. We don't know how to use them.
I was gonna say, look, they're magnetic. They pop open.
That's all we ever did. We just, look at this shit. We didn't know how to play it.
No, I don't think anybody ever knew how to play it. I don't even know people who made it.
Rules. It's the same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh. Nobody knew how to play fucking Yu-Gi-Oh. They just collected the cards.
Like, oh, look at this card. Bam, I win.
They had cool cards.
Bakugan. I remember that was the days back then.
Good old.
And then my last two are just specifically for you, Wade. Hasbro is.
Hold on.
Okay, you go ahead.
Are we still in movie news?
Yes, I'm still in movie news.
Okay, because that was a video game we just talked about.
I know. I just had to throw that out there.
Oh, because I've got some movie stuff.
Okay, I got movie. This is a movie thing.
Oh, is it? Is it
yes.
Like Marvel or DC news?
No, it's just a movie.
Just a movie. Okay, go ahead.
Hasbro is to reboot the Power Rangers movie.
God damn it!
Completely different cast.
Why? I want they had a after credit scene in the last one.
It's getting a reboot.
Why not just do that? Why are they rebooting it again?
It's rebooting. Apparently, the first one didn't do as well as they thought it would.
It didn't, but that doesn't mean this new one's going to do any better. It's fucking Power Rangers. Just make a sequel.
I knew you'd get upset about that.
You'll make more money off of the sequel than if you just reboot it again. I don't understand. I don't understand the mind. Yes, it is. It's the same thing with Hellboy. They would have made more money on a Hellboy 3 than the reboot. Same thing with because people like that new Power Rangers movie and they want to see the sequel that they were fucking promised at the end. And they'll go see that movie. Now I have no interest in this new fucking movie because I'm pissed.
What if it's just amazing? What if it's better than the first?
It won't be. It won't be. For one, it's not going to be better than the fucking 90s movie, okay? Nobody is a better villain in any film ever than fucking Ivan Ooze. Ivan Ooze is the OG villain.
You're telling me Bryan Cranston couldn't?
Bryan Cranston wasn't a villain.
I know, but if they brought him back for the new one and they made him
He's not coming back. He ain't coming back.
He shot all of his stuff on like a green screen, didn't he?
Probably. It's just his face. They didn't really say. No, they shot one thing with him on set at the beginning where he's like, oh, I'm Zordon and I'm fucking like old and I'm a dinosaur man. And then he dies.
Wow. Just like God, they put a Godzilla on him.
Yeah, but I mean, he's in the rest of the movie though. He's just a CG.
Still, they pulled a Godzilla on him.
If they don't bring back fucking Krispy Kreme in this goddamn reboot, I'm gonna be pissed because Krispy Kreme was the best character in the last movie.
It's completely different cast, completely different story.
It sucks.
I knew you'd be.
I'll be okay with it if they do like the TV shows where it's like Power Rangers, like Turbo Thunder Ninja fuck or whatever. Like if it's just like a different. Don't use Kimberly. Don't use Jason. Don't use fucking Billy again because we just saw that. Do it different. Come up with new names. Just make like a new thing. I'd be fine with that, I guess.
White power.
Don't do that.
Pink power. Yellow power.
Pink power.
I got one more thing, but it's TV news. So if you want to do some non-Marvel DC movie news, go ahead.
Okay. Sub-Zero has been cast in the Mortal Kombat movie.
What I thought that was a given. I didn't know he wasn't cast in it.
Well, I mean, he's in the movie, but like they just cast him.
Okay, who's playing?
Joe Taslim, who I had to Google because I didn't know who this was.
I was gonna say I don't know.
He's been in very few movies, but he's like a martial arts guy, and he was in the Raid Redemption, which is a fucking. If you haven't seen any of the Raid movies, they're insane. So if he's in, I don't remember who he played in the Raid Redemption, but if he's in that movie, he's gonna be fucking kicking ass left and right in this fucking movie.
Are they actually taking this Mortal Kombat movie seriously? So I remember watching the other. I think did we watch the second one?
We watched the second one together. Yeah,
and that was just bad.
Second one, Mortal Kombat Annihilation is one of the worst movies ever made.
That was so. I don't even know how I finished watching that movie. It was
the first one. The first one's not great, but it's fun. It's like a fun, like silly kind of B movie, video game type movie. It's got a lot of cool like action scenes in it. But this one's gonna be R-rated. I don't know if the tone is.
That's how you do it.
I don't know what the tone is though. I don't know if it's gonna be like goofy and stupid and silly, or if it's gonna be like dark and serious. I don't know.
I want on-screen fatalities. That's what I want.
Fuck yeah, dude.
If you're making it R-rated, just go balls to the walls and have somebody rip their spine out of another person's body.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, I want to see that. Get fucking Jax, the big buff black dude in the movie. Get Terry Crews. God damn it. Put Terry Crews in more movies.
he's doing White Chicks too.
Doing nothing. He's too busy playing video games all day.
He's doing White Chicks too.
How long is that going to take to fucking film? Is that going to take 10 years to make?
Probably.
Jesus Christ. Quit playing your fucking PC games, Terry Crews. Make more movies.
I'm going to admit, I don't know a lot of characters in the Mortal Kombat because I didn't play it that much. I know Scorpion. I know Sub-Zero. I know Jax. I know the forearm dude. I don't know his name.
There's a couple forearm dudes.
He's a really buff, alien-looking dude.
There's a couple buff, forearm, alien-looking dudes.
I don't know his name.
There's Kentaro. There's Goro. There's
Goro. I wanted to say Gordo.
It's probably Goro.
That's who I was thinking of. That's about
it. I mean, most of them, like most of the ninjas are.
I know the chicken dude. The guy who sounds like a chicken.
That's from Tekken.
Oh, damn.
You got your fucking games mixed up.
They're the same premise, just different games.
No, they're completely different.
One's isn't there like a Tom Cruise character, or is that in Tekken 2?
No, Johnny Cage.
Yeah, that guy.
Of Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh.
Not Tom Cruise.
Still, he reminds me of like Tom Cruise.
He's got that movie star-ish type quality to him.
That's about it. That's about all the characters I know.
I mean, most of the ninja characters are pretty much all the same character, just reskinned.
Isn't there like a ghost character too?
His name is Ghost.
Oh yeah.
Or no, it's Smoke.
Oh yeah, that sounds right. Yeah,
Smoke. He's just like a gray ninja.
Yeah. I know more than I thought I did.
And then there's a character named Noob.
Noob? Okay,
and he's all black.
I don't know who that is.
It's real dumb. Mortal Kombat's ridiculous, but I love it.
I just want an awesome action movie with gruesome fatalities, and I will watch that movie.
Yeah, that sounds
100%.
awesome.
100%. That's what I would do.
I can't wait to see a trailer for this movie because I can't wait for people online to fucking give this movie tons of shit, even if it looks cool as hell. Because that happens with everything now.
It just needs to not take itself as seriously as it probably is going to, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want it to be like a dark, like, oh, we gotta, like, oh man, we gotta fight to like save the world, and we're all being like serious, but like be a little goofy. Yeah. But just make it like, don't make it Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Don't make it like cheesy nonsense.
Yeah, don't make it balls to the walls goofy. Just make it. There's a happy medium in there that you need to do.
And I'm sure they could pull it off. Because I think who was directing it? I think James Wan is directing it, if I'm correct, and he did like Aquaman and shit.
I was gonna say that's the only movie I know he's done is Aquaman.
I think he knows how to kind of ride that line well enough.
I mean, Aquaman was goofy and kind of serious, I guess.
It was just really boring.
Yeah, I hated that movie.
I didn't hate it, but it was really boring.
We'll get into that later. That's later.
We will. Next, we have Psych the Movie 2 coming later this year.
I've heard about this. I know you're pumped for that because you love the first
Hell
Psych.
yeah.
That was on your top 10 list in 2018.
It was. It wasn't a great film, but I just love... The Psych show is the same thing every episode, but I just love the characters and the dumb situations they get in. And every time the fucking theme song comes on, it's one of the best TV show theme songs ever. It's awesome. I love Psych, and Psych the movie 1, I guess, was a lot of stupid dumb fun. It was a dumb fucking Christmas movie, and I think did John Cena show up in it? I think John Cena showed up like at the end.
I haven't seen it,
so I'm excited for this. Bring back fucking. I want to see more Adventures of Dule Hill and fucking James Roday. Keep it going. I want a Psych movie trilogy.
I'm sure they'll make a trilogy, to be honest.
Oh, fuck yeah. I mean, they're all TV movies. They don't cost a lot to make.
Exactly.
Keep it going. Make 8. I don't care.
Make 8.
Make 8 Psych the movies.
Their own cinematic universe of Psych.
Hell yeah. I'd be totally fine with that. Psych's great, dude. 9 seasons of the show with 9 movies. Insane.
I think if you can't hit double digits, though. If you can't get your movies out in 9 movies, don't do it.
No. Unless it's Fast and Furious, because I think they're going for 10.
They are going for 10. What is Hobbs and Shaw? Is that the 10th?
That's just a spinoff.
But it's a part of that franchise.
Yeah, but it's not a like Fast and Furious movie, because the next one's going to be like Fast and Furious in space or whatever.
I'm so excited for Hobbs and Shaw.
I have some Hobbs and Shaw news at the end. And I think you'll enjoy it. Next up, there's are you familiar with the movie Look Who's Talking?
I feel like I've heard of it, but I have no idea.
The baby movie where the baby talks?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Apparently there's a reboot.
Why? What the?
There's a Look Who's Talking reboot.
When did the original come out?
Like the 90s, and then they made sequels to it that nobody cared about.
Are people calling for a reboot? Like, are people like up in arms?
No,
this doesn't.
Nobody wants this. I've never in my life said or met anyone who's like, "Hey, you know what my favorite movie is? Look Who's Talking. I wish they would make more." Nobody on the face of the planet, nobody in existence has ever said that.
I haven't seen it, but I remember it now.
I've seen the first one, and it's fine. It's like for what it is, it's fine. But I don't want 5. Who the hell needs 4 Look Who's Talking movies in their life?
Apparently, the people making it, they're like, "This is a good idea. We gotta do it again."
This is ridiculous, and I hate it.
The premise reminds me of Little Man, even though they're nothing alike.
I mean, it's similar, but it's a little different. You know when people joke about like, "Oh, Hollywood's out of ideas," blah, blah, blah. This is the epitome of that.
Yeah,
I mean, there's nothing left.
At least Disney's like trying to be a little different, I guess. I don't know.
No, even Disney's not really. They've kind of lost their way as well. They're not really making anything original anymore.
The only thing they're doing right is Marvel, and then Disney doesn't even control any of that. It's all Kevin Feige.
Yeah, Kevin Feige's responsible for all that. Apparently Stallone is working on another Expendables film. Expendables 4.
Expendables 4. Who's going to be in this? They already used all the big jocks in the first two.
I know a while ago they wanted to do like a female spinoff with all like the female action stars from like the 80s and shit, and that'd be fun. And I think that'd be better than just being like, "Oh, we're going to bring in fucking who's another old action star that they haven't used. We're going to bring in Bruce Lee's dead corpse or something." Like,
was Bruce Willis ever in any?
He was in the first 2, and then they had to replace him with Harrison Ford because he was being a dick and he wanted more money.
I'm sure they'll put The Rock in the 4th one.
They'll probably put The Rock in, yeah. Which kind of defeats the purpose because he's more of a new action star.
Maybe that's the premise of the 4th one is all the new up and coming.
That was the premise of the 3rd one.
I mean, they'll do it again. They get Jason Momoa, they get The Rock, they get Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill's not an action star.
I mean, he was in
He's in Mission Impossible. That's one movie. He's not an action star.
Though I'd like to see him in it.
I would too, but I don't think that's no. That's
Put Tom Cruise in it.
Too much muscles.
Tom Cruise is an action star.
He is. But he'd have to be on like 4 Apple boxes because everyone else you just described is like 6
That'd be the
8.
joke. That'd be the joke. He's a little scrawny dude, but he's like the best fighter or something. I don't know.
I mean, maybe. I'm sure that's been a joke already. Bring back Chuck Norris or something. I don't know.
Bring back Chuck Norris. I mean, he's not doing anything.
No, he's too busy selling fucking total.
Get Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire's not an action star.
He was in Spider-Man.
He didn't do any of that though.
I mean,
and he's like an asshole now.
He was pretty ripped in the first one. I mean,
there's a fucking car. Do you see the car? Or whatever he says in that video. That's fucking hilarious. He's lost his mind.
He has, and
he's a nut job.
That'd be awesome.
More Disney live action remake news.
Oh, great.
The live action Mulan apparently will not feature Mushu.
I know. I heard this. I heard
no
that.
Songs in the movie.
I was pissed about Mushu. He's my favorite character in the entire thing.
Mushu's great.
I don't know why. Was he like? I heard that they want to take him out for cultural reasons, like to make it more cultural accurate.
I mean, you have a black guy playing a dragon. I mean,
I don't give a shit about that. I just want the movie to be. I just want it to be good.
I don't care. I just want to see Eddie Murphy in like a movie again.
True. I mean, it wouldn't be him. He'd be CG. But
it'd be fucking Kevin Hart probably.
It'd be awesome if he did like a mocap for Mushu and he was like on set.
Why do you want everyone to do all these weird mocap stuff?
Because I just want to see
the dragon.
Because I want to see the background thing, and they're all on set like flopping around.
Retarded. It looked retarded when Benedict Cumberbatch did it, and
it looks hilarious, and I love seeing it. It's funny.
It looks retarded and ridiculous. But I mean, the Mulan live action thing was the one movie that I kind of like had hope for because I was like, they could make a really like stylish, like kind of badass live action version of Mulan if they really like tried. But there's no songs in it, so fuck it.
Now it just sounds like a generic movie.
Yeah, now it's just gonna be, I'm Asian and I gotta do Asian stuff.
I mean, I guess if you make it a really good story, it could be good, but
it's just gonna be the story of Mulan.
Like they could redo it, they could make it different. It doesn't have to follow the first movie, the original.
They could, but how many of these live action remakes have been different?
The Jungle Book.
No, that's exactly the same. Not exactly the same, but it's pretty much the same.
That's the only one that I can think of that's even remotely different.
That one instead of having like 5 songs, they had 2 songs.
Oh shit. I mean, Beauty and the Beast is like beat for beat the same.
Yeah, most of them are pretty much the same. I mean, I don't know. Apparently there was a teaser trailer. I didn't watch it because fuck all these movies.
I saw the beginning of the teaser trailer, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
Did it look interesting at least?
No, it looked like I said a generic action movie.
I mean, we'll have to wait and see until it comes out because I don't.
Yeah, trailers don't make the movie, aka Justice League.
What are you saying about Justice League?
The trailer for Justice League was amazing, and it made me really hyped for that movie. And
the first one was.
And then the movie was not amazing.
I'll talk about Justice League later.
Yeah, well,
I don't want to go off on a tangent right now.
Tangent. All right, you got anything else?
Next up, David Fincher is working on a biopic about the guy who wrote Citizen Kane, and it might star Gary Oldman. This sounds fucking awesome.
It does. You're gonna make a whole 2-hour movie about that, though?
Well, it doesn't have to be 2 hours. I think it's a Netflix movie.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
But I mean, I don't really know a whole lot about the production of Citizen Kane. I'm sure I can look it up. But like Citizen Kane, I've heard stories that like it was like super expensive, and Orson Welles, like it was like a passion project and all this stuff, and it didn't really like. People consider it like one of the greatest movies of all time, but it didn't really like people didn't consider that when it came out. It was just another movie. In fact, I think it only won an Oscar for the script. I
was gonna say it became a classic later.
Yeah, like life. Most movies do. But yeah. I think this sounds awesome, and I love David Fincher, and I think his style for this type of thing would be fucking sick.
I would love to see Gary Oldman too. That would be
and Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman's great in everything.
If he's actually is in it, like if they release this thing saying he's in it, I'll watch it. I'll totally watch it.
I'm pretty sure he's in it. I think the report just said he might star in it or whatever, but I'm pretty sure he'll be in it.
I hope he is. I hope he does it because that'd be.
He's got nothing else going on.
Yeah, he's not doing anything.
I have Dora news.
Oh, gross. God.
The new Dora trailer reveals first look at Swiper, played by Benicio del Toro, and he looks terrifying.
I saw the trailer in theaters, so on the big screen, I saw it. And I remember leaning over to whoever I went to the theaters with, and I was like, this looks terrible.
It does. It looks really bad. I don't understand why this movie exists.
It's Dora in high school, which I'm like, first of all, that's not a thing in the shows.
Well, yeah, they got to make it different, man. They got to make it cool and edgy for the cool kids. Because
second of all,
Dora's got to be cool for some reason.
The person playing Dora looks like she's like 25.
She's almost 18.
Well, she looks like she's 25.
She's like 16, 17.
And Dora is supposed to be a small child, not an adult.
Devin, I don't think they gave a fuck when they made this movie. I don't think someone on set was like, shouldn't Dora be a kid? Like, I don't think anyone cared.
Like,
I think you're caring more than anyone in this movie cared.
I don't give a shit at all, but I can just tell you that from watching very few episodes of Dora.
Yeah, I wonder, are they going to have like a self-aware moment where she just like looks at the camera and just like seizes out and just like freezes and be like, hey, where's the thing at?
Where's the map? Are they going to have the map? Are they going to have the map?
They better have the map.
The CGI face map? That's going to be terrifying.
Oh my God. They have a fucking CGI Benicio del Toro fucking fox. Why would they have
it was barely on screen, so I don't remember it too much.
Well, apparently in the new trailer, they like show him off more.
I remember Boots does not look real. Boots looks fake
none of this
shit.
looks real because it's not.
You could have real looking CGI.
Just get a monkey and put boots on him.
I don't even think Boots wears boots.
He does. That's why his name is Boots.
No, like in the trailer.
Oh, probably not in the trailer.
I don't remember if he does.
His name will be No Boots.
I remember they had him in a backpack, which I'm like, that is. Where's PETA at? Whenever you need him.
Put him in a backpack. It's not torturing him.
He can't breathe.
You don't know that. He's a magic talking monkey. You don't fucking know.
It's true. He doesn't talk.
He talks in the fucking cartoon.
Does he?
Yes, Boots talks. Have you ever seen Dora the Explorer?
I told you I've seen very few episodes. I don't. He does.
Everything in that universe talks. The fucking map talks. The backpack talks. Everything talks.
Oh yeah. I really want the map. That's the only thing I care about. Bring the map in.
Oh, that map's gonna look horrifying. It's gonna look like the candle from the live action Beauty and the Beast movie.
Oh, gross.
It looks terrifying.
Ugh.
That's what it's gonna look like, probably. I do have horror stuff that I completely missed. You remember that Momo thing that was like going around the internet?
Don't tell me that's becoming a movie.
It is.
Oh God.
But from what I could tell, and the articles weren't really clear about this, I don't know if it's a horror movie based on the character, or if it's about like everything around, like the viral like, hoax that went out that everyone was like losing their minds over.
It would be way better if it's about the premise, not the character.
I think it would too. I think that'd be a much more interesting kind of concept, because it's like when they came out with the Slender Man movie, I'm like, you're like 5-6 years too late. Nobody gives a shit about Slender Man.
Yeah, Slender Man was hyped in like 2012, man.
Yeah. and same thing with Momo. It was like a thing for like a couple months, so then it just kind of like died out. Nobody gives a fuck anymore.
I mean, so you know the premise though, right? Of like what happened.
Well, it was just like somebody saw it because the actual Momo thing was like a statue that some like Japanese artist made, and somebody like found that picture and they made like all these things on like what was it, WhatsApp or whatever, saying like if you see the photo you're gonna die or whatever, like blah blah blah. And it became like this big hoax. And I think that would be a much more interesting movie than turning the character into like a horror creature or whatever.
Somebody else took it and used it on YouTube and was convincing kids to try to kill their parents with it.
I mean, that makes sense. See, that's a story right there.
I know.
You got your story right there. That sounds far more interesting. And I hope that's what they're doing. I don't know if that is, because the articles were kind of vague.
I'm just saying, though, if I was the kid and I was watching YouTube and I saw something like that come on my YouTube feed, I would be like, I'm not watching that shit. Look at it. It's terrifying.
Myself. I'd be like, my life's done. Like, that's terrifying. It is. It's awful.
Like, kids these days are just kind of stupid.
And apparently the artist behind it like was so upset that people like found it unnerving. And I was like, how do you make something like that?
It looks like a bird mixed with a person.
Yeah,
it looks terrifying.
Terrifying. I'm like, you're a crazy person, Japanese man or whoever made this.
It does.
Japanese person.
It looks terrifying because like its smile goes like all the way up to its ears. And it's like, oh,
it's man, it's horrifying.
Its face
it actually
is like
would probably make a good like horror character, but I don't want that as a movie.
Yeah, there's nothing behind it to make a story out of it.
No, does it talk? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's
where did the chicken legs come from?
It's just
is it born that way, or did it get its legs cut off?
Is this becoming a
chicken?
Is this gonna be a theater movie, or is this gonna be like a Netflix?
It'll probably be a Netflix thing. I don't see this getting like a theatrical release or anything.
Yeah, I don't see it being a theatrical.
I mean, and if it's a Netflix movie, that's the perfect place to put it. Put it on Netflix.
True. It could be good. You never know.
It could be. Again, it depends on what it's about. It could be.
If it's about the premise and not the character, I think it could be good.
It could be. I'd watch that.
I would too.
The last bit of news. Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh.
The Japanese title was released, and do you know what it is?
No, I have no idea.
It's the best fucking thing I've ever heard, and I'm gonna refer to the movie as this from now on because it's better than the actual title. It's in Japan. It is referred to as Wild Speed: Super Combo.
Wild Speed. Why?
That's what Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw fucking translates to over there.
Okay, that makes more sense.
But I'm calling this movie Wild Speed Super Combo from now
on. That sounds amazing though.
Because that is the best title I've ever heard. And it's honestly, I'm surprised they didn't just call it that in general over here, because that's the perfect summary for the movie.
I mean, it is. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see that movie.
That movie's gonna be so fun. I can't wait for that movie.
I have a feeling it's gonna be crap, but it's gonna be such.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be such a. This movie seems like, because I've been kind of like, I love B movies from like the 80s and like the 70s, like old like shitty B movies, and we don't really have B movies anymore. This to me looks like a fucking B movie, and I love it. I love the fact that they're just like, hey, none of this shit makes any sense. All this is nonsense. We got superpowers now. Idris Elba's in it. He's punching motorcycles in the face and stuff. Who gives a shit? Have fun. And I'm like, I'm all about that. Hell yeah. I cannot wait for this fucking movie.
Oh, I can't wait either.
It's gonna be so much fun.
We're gonna talk about it for 2 hours afterwards.
That's gonna be the whole podcast.
It will be. It's gonna be great. My last bit of news is specifically for you. I saw it on my news feed and I was like, yes, Wade's gonna love this. It's coming to Netflix. Okay. They're making a Cuphead original animated series on Netflix.
Fuck yeah, dude. Cuphead was awesome.
I have no idea what Cuphead's about, so I don't know what this show will be about.
There's kind of like a very like vague story to it. It's not, the game isn't really like about the story, even though I do like the tone and the story and the vibe of the Cuphead. I never beat Cuphead because it's hard as balls. But I like the world and the vibe and everything. It's got that old school animation, which I love. All those old school animation from like the 40s and shit are gorgeous. But I don't know, is this going to be hand drawn or is this going to be that digital garbage?
I don't know. It just said animation coming to Netflix.
I hope it's hand drawn because the game was hand drawn and the game looked fucking beautiful. And I hope the cartoons.
I was gonna say if they were smart, they'd keep the same animation style from the game.
I hope they do because animation now. I watched Batman Gotham by Gaslight last night, and the animation in that movie is fucking awful because it just looks so like boring. And like I want animation to not be afraid to be animation.
When was the last time we got like a hand drawn animation thing? It hasn't been. It's been a while probably.
It's been. I can't even fucking. I don't know.
It's been a while.
Question. I would love it. Bring back hand drawn animation. I've been saying it forever. Bring it back.
It kind of died out in the 2000s era.
Yeah. That's sad.
Everything's computer now.
Everything's fucking digital and it looks awful.
All right, the only thing I got left is Marvel and DC news.
Yeah, I got 2 bits of Marvel news.
All right, you want to do Marvel first then?
We can, yeah.
All right, you go first. Lay it on me. What you got?
Apparently, Millie Bobby Brown, who's the girl in Stranger Things, joins the cast of the Eternals.
I heard about that. They keep adding these big actors. I guess she's not super big, but
she's pretty big. She was in Godzilla.
Yeah, but they keep adding these big actors to this movie, and I don't know how I'm going to feel about it.
I don't know. I mean, I said last time that like this isn't necessary. I don't know why they're doing this.
I know, especially if they get Keanu Reeves. I don't know if he's ever been confirmed for that movie, but I know he was rumored.
I don't think he's confirmed for it. I hope he is, because I want him in some superhero universe at some point.
Gay Keanu Reeves.
Gay Keanu Reeves.
In the Eternals. We did it. We able to mention him in this podcast.
Yeah.
Keep the streak alive.
We gotta keep it going every episode. That means I can put him in the thumbnail. Hell yeah.
You can. Every thumbnail.
Hell yeah.
There's so many big names attached to this movie now that if they do end up crossing it over with other stuff, there's going to be too many big actors.
It's going to be insane. The budget's going to be fucking ridiculous.
I know. I mean, I know Guardians had semi-big actors whenever it was released, but it's only 5 characters.
Guardians, no. The only real notable actor in Guardians at the time was like Zoe Saldana.
Bradley Cooper is a big... Bradley Cooper and Vin Diesel.
Yeah, but Vin Diesel, he didn't count because he had 2 lines in the whole fucking movie. Bradley Cooper, I'd say. But Bradley, that's a voice thing. I'm sure he didn't get paid a whole lot for that.
And then Chris Pratt was on the up and up at that time.
That was his first. That's what made him a star, was Guardians.
He was on
Parks and Rec, but like nobody fucking knew who the hell Chris Pratt was. And nobody knew who Dave Bautista was either.
Yeah, he became a household name after that.
And now he's just like an asshole about everything.
He's in everything now. Everything.
Dave Bautista's he's working, man.
I know. He's getting that paycheck while Guardians 3's mulling.
He'd make a great Bane.
I know. You say that all the time.
Because he would. Fucking look at that man. That man looks like a comic book character. Next bit of Marvel news. Deadpool 3 may shoot for 2020 or 2021 release.
In the MCU or just kind of its own thing?
I don't know. Just Deadpool 3.
It'll
probably be in the MCU, probably.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens.
I'm excited to see more Deadpool because I like the first 2 Deadpool movies.
This kind of ties into one of my pieces of news. July 20th is when Marvel's doing their Unveiling the Future thing at the Hall of H. So they're going to release Phase 4 stuff.
Oh, shit.
That's in 8 days. So maybe they'll announce Deadpool in that. Who knows?
They might. That'd be fucking sick. I kind of want it to just be like just continue the continuity because I've heard rumors that they might just like, it'll be a reboot of Deadpool where like the cast stays the same. Everyone from the movie stays the same, except probably TJ Miller will probably be recast because he's a psychopath. Because he is.
He is.
But like it'll just be a new thing. And I'm like, don't do that. Just continue the fucking story of Deadpool 2. Like just keep that going. Just do it. Have it in its own weird universe. And then if you want to have Deadpool crossover in the MCU, just fucking do it. Who gives a shit?
I'm excited to see where it goes, especially after Deadpool 2. Because Deadpool 2 is great. I love Deadpool 2. It's better than the first one. It's better than the first one. Fight me. Whoever disagrees, fight us.
A lot of people disagree, probably. And they're wrong.
Deadpool 2 is great.
I will say Deadpool 2 is better than Once Upon a Deadpool.
I haven't seen Once Upon a Deadpool, and I'm not going to.
That cut is not very good.
I'm not going to.
You don't need to watch it at all, because it's bad.
I won't.
But yeah, I mean, that's all the Marvel news I got.
8 days from now, when they unveil this Phase 4 stuff, I swear they could probably make this its own TV show, like a special thing on TV, and everybody would freaking watch it. But the only way we're going to get this news is if it leaks or somebody videotapes it while they're there or whatever.
I'm sure somebody will stream it somewhere.
I remember when they did Phase 3, did they end up putting that on YouTube or did somebody else record it and then put it on YouTube?
I don't think they officially put it out. I think somebody recorded it and put it on YouTube.
I don't know, because I remember when Infinity War came out, that leak was very hard to come by because they took everybody's cell phones. The guy who actually did end up recording the leak from it snuck in a flip phone, and that's how he recorded it.
I don't understand why they like I understand Marvel wants to keep secrets and stuff, but like let us. I want to know what movies are coming out. Why is it a secret what movies are coming out?
Well, their big thing is, these people paid to come here and see this. If somebody's just going to leak it,
though, it's the same thing with a concert. They film concerts all the time, and it's like, all right, people pay to go see it, but at the same time, not everyone fucking can afford to go to San Diego.
True. Plus,
just like put it on YouTube or some shit.
I don't know where this is at, but I don't know if I can drop everything and go there July 20th to be able to do it.
So like, do it for us, because I'm not going all the way to San Diego for that fucking thing.
But yeah, I'm excited. I cannot wait. Do you think they're gonna stay with like the 10 movie trend for Phase 4? Do you think they'll drop back down a little bit?
I hope they kind of drop back down a bit. I think Marvel needs to like take a breather for a little bit. I think they need to slow down on like the releasing 3 to 4 movies a year thing. I think they need to go back to maybe like 2. And I hope we don't get because Phase 3 had like what 10 movies.
It had 11 now that Far From Home's in it.
At 11. We don't need that many movies in a phase. Like I think they just need to kind of scale back a little bit on a lot of their stuff.
I mean,
release like 2 movies a year.
Phase 1 and 2 only had 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. Like just do that.
So they almost doubled Phase 3 was almost 2 phases, basically.
Basically, yeah.
Which is insane.
It is insane. I mean, they're gonna go big or go home. Now that they got the X-Men, they're gonna be like, we're gonna have 15 X-Men movies released in like 2 months.
I don't know if they'll have anything until the end of Phase 4 for X-Men or Fantastic Four.
I think there will be a tease at this conference for either Fantastic Four or X-Men.
Oh, there will be a tease for sure.
There's gonna be,
but it won't be. I don't think they'll release a movie until the end of Phase 4. To be honest.
Oh yeah, probably.
Except for maybe Deadpool. Deadpool may be the beginning.
Yeah, probably.
Because that has nothing to do with anything really. You can just do that and.
Yeah, Deadpool's is a little weird thing.
I got a couple of Far From Home news.
That movie's already out.
I know. Did you hear about the MCU could lose Spider-Man if Far From Home doesn't make $1 billion?
I heard this. I don't know what it means, and I don't know why.
Apparently, there was a fine print in the contract with the MCU that if one of the first 2 Spider-Man movies makes less, if both of the 2 Spider-Man movies make less than $1 billion, based on the contract, Sony could pull out and take Spider-Man back.
Why is Sony so weird?
I don't know.
Sony, like, I was thinking about this earlier today. Like, Sony is like one of the weirdest like movie studios ever. For one, who puts that in a contract? That's a weird. Why only the first 2?
Sony wanted an out in case they all sucked.
Yeah, but here's the thing: just because the movie doesn't make $1 billion, how much did Far From Home make?
I'm looking at it right now. I know the first weekend it made $600 million.
Yeah, that made more than fucking Spider-Man 3. That made more than any of their movies. So like, it's doing better than your movies. Why would you want to then get rid of that Spider-Man?
All right, let's see what it's at right now. Currently, it hasn't counted this week yet. This week isn't on there, but it's at $613 million.
Yeah, why? Like that's still making money. Who gives a shit if it's $1 billion, Sony? Venom didn't make $1 billion, did it?
No, but it wasn't even close.
Yeah, so go fuck yourself, Sony.
Let me see. I think it only made like $700 million or something.
It made close, but it did make $1 billion.
No, it made $855.
That's way too much for that movie. I think if this does happen, if Sony does take back Spider-Man, because there were reports before Far From Home that like, oh, the contracts and they're gonna take back Spider-Man. I think eventually Disney's just gonna say fuck you, Sony, and just buy them.
Exactly.
And then because then they won't have to worry about all this dumb bullshit from Sony. They'll just be, hey, we got it now. It's ours. Fuck off, and we can do whatever.
And then they can make Baby Driver 2.
I don't want that.
I know, but it's like the only thing else Sony owns that's worth anything.
I mean, they have Ghostbusters,
Men in Black.
Men in Black.
Other than that,
and they have the Jump Street movies.
I mean, nobody
just decided not to do anything with.
Yeah, they're not going to do anything with that. Maybe 10 years from now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Some other not Far From Home, but Spider-Man 3, if MCU keeps it, they kind of want to do Kraven, which I could totally see. I don't know if Sony's going to allow that, considering they want to do a Kraven movie themselves.
Yeah.
And then I've heard they also want to put Venom in that movie. Tom Hardy's Venom.
Tom Hardy's Venom in Spider-Man 3?
Yeah.
No, we already had a Venom in a Spider-Man 3, and look how well that turned out. Don't do it again.
I could see the Kraven thing working, though. I could understand that.
Kraven, I could totally see. And I would love to see Kraven on the big screen.
Because the way you set up the second one, the ending, he could be like, oh, I'm getting tired of hunting these animals that are basically so easy for me. I just kill them instantly. And now there's this new person out there who's a spider type person, and I know who he is. I can go hunt him.
What a 15-year-old boy.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it working. I could see the premise.
Yeah, it can work. I can see it work. And I mean, Chameleon and Craven are like half brothers or whatever, and they've already set up Chameleon, so maybe like I could see it.
Yeah, I could totally see it working.
Who would you want to play Craven?
I don't know. I feel like anybody really could. I mean, there's nothing deep about Craven that needs to be within an actor that does him.
What about Henry Cavill?
No.
What about like Gerard Butler?
Maybe.
What about Mel Gibson?
Yes, 100%. Mel Gibson.
That'd be amazing. I would love to see that. Old ass Mel Gibson, just like rah! I would love.
If the MCU keeps Spider-Man, do you think they're setting up for a Sinister Six?
Oh, for sure. For sure. After seeing Homecoming, I was like, oh, there's like 6 villains in this movie. Of course.
I mean,
wait, and we still got to see Scorpion. Scorpion's got to come back.
I was gonna say, right now we know Vulture, Scorpion, Mysterio, Chameleon, and Shocker. That's 5.
Yeah. So we need one more. It's probably gonna be
Craven, or you could do Doc Ock.
I'd rather have Craven. Fuck Doc Ock. I don't understand why everyone likes Doc Ock so much. Doc Ock is a nerd, and he sucks.
Or you could set up the Oscorp and do Green Goblin.
Don't do Green Goblin.
You can do a lot of different things. There's a lot of Spider-Man villains that you could throw into Sinister Six.
Do a new, because every time we see the Sinister Six, it's always the same people. Like, switch the team up a little bit. Put like Miles Morales on it or something.
He's not a villain.
Make him a villain. I don't care.
I hope by that time, though, maybe Spider-Man 4 or Spider-Man 5, if they're doing that many, for a Sinister Six movie, they have the rights to the Defenders back, which is rumored to be in 2021, and they can use the Kingpin from Daredevil in Sinister Six.
I think before Spider-Man 3 comes out, they should have, because at least with most of them, because Daredevil got canceled last year, and they have to wait 2 years to do it, and I don't think we're seeing Spider-Man 3 in like 2020 or 2021. So I think by the time Spider-Man 3 comes out, they should have.
Now, the Netflix, all the characters are under one thing, so they have to wait 2 years after Jessica Jones. Because Jessica Jones last.
That's bullshit. But it got canceled last year, though.
True. I don't know if it's when it got canceled.
I think it's from when it got canceled.
Well, it's still 2021, even if it is this year. It's 2021.
I mean, that makes sense.
2 years from now.
It would be such a shame if they don't incorporate Daredevil into Spider-Man 3.
I know. I sent you that picture the other day.
The perfect setup.
Just make him his lawyer. Make him Spider-Man's lawyer.
Oh yeah, that's all we need to see of him. He doesn't need to get in his dumb suit.
No, he doesn't need to get in his suit. Just make him show up. Be like, I am Peter Parker's lawyer.
I'm Matt Murdock, and I'm here to kick some ass.
That's it. That's all you got.
Justice is blind, and so am I. Why isn't that Daredevil's catchphrase?
Justice is blind, and so am I.
Justice is blind, and so am I.
Because it would sound stupid coming from him.
No, it sounds badass, dude. They don't know the Daredevil's blind.
I mean, if you tell him.
Justice is blind, and so am I. I think Batman has said that before. It makes even less sense for Batman, because Batman's not actually blind.
I was going to say, is Batman blind in one of those? Is that why he says it?
No, not as far as I know. I think he just said it because he's Batman. He can say whatever the hell he wants.
And then my last piece of Marvel news is the creator of John Wick, Derek Cosstand or something. I don't know what his name is. He is working on Falcon and Winter Soldier show set in 2020.
Yeah, I saw this news. Is he like writing it or?
Yeah, he's writing. He's writing some of the episodes, not all of them.
And he created John Wick? Did he like write it in the movies?
I don't think he wrote it, but he came up with the concept.
Like the story of it? Yeah. I mean, hey, that's fun. I mean, we got some talent in there somewhere. I just want to know the goddamn plot of what the show is.
I'm excited, especially if it's Falcon Cap. I'm super excited.
I think it's gonna be like Falcon being like, "Oh, I don't know if I could be Captain America," and Bucky's just like, "Quit being stupid. You're Captain America."
I know when Disney Plus comes out in a couple months, one of the Marvel shows comes out with it. I don't remember which one. Was it Wanda and Vision?
It might have been WandaVision, yeah.
I feel like it was that or Loki, one of those two.
It could be. It might be Loki because they've started shooting Loki. I know.
I saw
even started shooting any of the other ones.
And then The Mandalorian comes out when...
Fuck The Mandalorian.
I'm watching it. I'll tell you how it is.
You can watch it. That's fine. I'm not watching that fucking show.
It's probably going to be great. I'm excited.
It could be, but it could also suck. Taika Waititi's involved with it. I can't watch it.
You have some beef with Taika for no reason.
And I have a reason for it.
What's your reason?
I don't think he's funny.
That's not a reason to not watch any of his movies.
That is a reason.
I don't think The Mandalorian is going to be funny, so you have no issue.
Why the fuck is he involved with it then?
Because he's a good director.
Yeah, that's debatable.
Every movie that I've seen so far has had critical praise.
I could do better.
You need to make a Batman movie, and then you'll be good.
No, I'd make the most boring Batman movie in the world.
But you would like cater to all Batman fans.
No, I wouldn't. I'd cater to me. Because if I catered to all the fans, I'd have like cute little like references and stuff, and I'm like, no, we're not having any of that shit. This is a real shit like detective drama.
You'd be like, I'm bringing back Michael Keaton.
Batman's never gonna wear the suit.
Oh shit! It's not even a Batman movie.
It's a Batman movie.
It's just a Bruce Wayne movie.
It's Bruce Wayne locked in Arkham, and he's just got to be like, oh fuck, I don't have any of my gadgets and shit.
You'd bring back Michael Keaton. I know you would.
I'd bring back both Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck and do like a Batman verse movie.
A Batverse?
A Batverse movie.
All right. The only thing I got left is DC news.
Yeah, I got DC news. That's it.
All right, you go ahead. Tell me what you got.
Birds of Prey may make Black Mask gay.
I heard about this.
And everyone's losing their goddamn minds.
Why do I care? What does it matter?
I don't know. Who gives a shit? But it's not the fact that they're making Black Mask gay that everyone's freaking out about. It's people freaking out that they're going to have a gay villain. And that's like painting gay people in like a negative light. And I'm like, oh, fuck yourself.
Gay people can be mean.
Yeah. That's what, yeah. Not all gay people are like saints.
I mean, you have the fashion designer people that are like saints. And then there's some, I'm sure there are some people that haven't found love and they're like, I hate everything.
Wasn't like John Wick gay or something? Wasn't there like a movie character that was like a gay asshole or whatever?
Not that I remember.
I thought there was at one point. But I mean, I don't give like who gives a shit. I don't even think they're gonna play into that very much at all. It's just gonna be like one line where that probably is very vague if he's gay or not, but it could mean that he's gay, and then that's it.
Yeah, that. Why do people freak out about this stuff? I don't get it.
I don't know, because they want the characters that they know from the comics to be exactly 100%. If it's not 100% what I grew up with or what I know or what I want, then it sucks. So they're just gonna freak out about everything. They do that with Batman. They do that with Superman. They do that with fucking Spider-Man. I don't care.
I don't care either. I don't think Birds of Prey.
And I just want to see Black Mask in a movie.
I don't think Birds of Prey is going to be good anyway. So
it looks very weird. I don't think the movie's going to be very good either.
I mean, you never know. It could surprise me, but I don't think it's going to be.
It could, but there's no Batman in it, so fuck it. Next DC news. Joker movie. It will not be based on any pre-existing comic book story.
That's the one DC news I had in mind.
Which should be kind of obvious. I mean, yeah, it's not a comic book movie whatsoever. It's its own. And I know the director said like people are going to be mad that it's not. I'm like, I think that's kind of what everyone wants. Like they don't want it to be a comic book thing.
It's going to be its own thing, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see it.
I think it's going to
be it's going to be good.
It looks a little like, oh, I'm just like a sad man, but Joaquin Phoenix is attached, and I think he's going to give a spooky performance as the Joker.
He's going to give 110%.
Oh, for sure. Because he's just playing himself, basically. He's just being a nut job.
I'm excited to see what they do in this movie.
I am too.
To be honest.
And that's the great thing about the Joker, and that's why I'm okay with Joker movies and not fucking Lex Luthor or whatever we talked about in the last episode. Because Joker, you can do fucking whatever. Because Joker, the fun thing about the Joker is that you don't know his origin, and so you could just make up whatever fucking story you want with it. And I'm totally fine with that. Fuck Lex Luthor.
Who did I say was going to be in it?
You said like Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling.
Fuck everything about that. That's awful. Bring back Kevin Spacey.
The next child molester.
Alleged child molester.
Alleged.
He molested. he touched those kids.
He pulled a Michael Jackson.
He pulled a bit. Well, he didn't die though. If he died right afterwards, then he would have pulled Michael Jackson.
He's dead to most people now, though.
He's dead. He's dead to us. Next up, Batman Beyond. This news made me so fucking happy when I heard it. Batman Beyond, the complete series, is coming to Blu-ray later this year.
Oh shit! You're about to drop like $80 on that shit.
Hell yeah, motherfucker! Fuck. Batman the animated series came out on Blu-ray. Was it last year or like the beginning of this year? And I want it so bad. It's like $60, and I want it, and I just want to watch it for the rest of my life and just watch that because Batman the animated series is perfect. And I am so glad that this is coming out because they're doing all like the Batman Beyond movies and stuff. They're like putting those out on Blu-ray as well, and I'm getting all those and I'm watching them. And, Batman Beyond was so cool. I love it.
You're gonna have so much Batman stuff, right? You're gonna have a whole wall of just Batman.
I am. I got Batman stuff behind me.
I know you do. I see it.
I got Batman toys and shit because I'm a man child. And then Justice League, the cinematographer for Justice League shares behind-the-scenes video of cut Aquaman scene and a photo of a cut Cyborg scene.
Where's the Snyder cut?
There's a fucking and funny thing about the Cyborg deleted scene was that they showed the photo I saw of it was like the behind the scenes shot of it and then like the fully rendered out effects shot of it, which means it's out there somewhere. That scene is done. And it's just sitting in a vault somewhere. Like what the fuck? I don't understand.
It'll never be released.
I hate this. I hate this so much. Release the Snyder cut.
It'll never happen.
This sucks.
Maybe once Warner Brothers dissolves into a different studio or something.
Once Disney buys Warner Brothers, and they'll...
Yeah, maybe.
Because
maybe
Warner Brothers is desperate for like money, and it's like this is the ultimate money-making opportunity. Everyone wants this. Release it.
Just release it to theaters. Just
don't even put it. No, just put it out on like Netflix. Just like, here you go. Fuck it.
Nah, just release it to theaters and be like, all right, here's Justice League again, but different.
I mean, I'd be fine with that.
Go watch it.
It would pretty much be a different movie, so it's not
exactly.
It'd be a different fucking movie. I'd totally watch that.
I would too. I would too.
Speaking of Justice League, we got to rank our segment today. We're going to rank the DCEU films, all 7 of them.
I figured we would go through each, talk about them a little bit, and then at the end, we'll rank them based on what we think. But before we get into that, I have this article that ranked the top 10 Batman villains, and I want to know your opinion on it.
Okay.
Can you guess? Can you just take a guess what the top 3 are?
Joker, Catwoman, Deathstroke.
No. Deathstroke didn't make this list, so I don't know if he was counted as a villain.
That's bullshit. This list doesn't matter anymore.
You got 1 out of the 3.
Is it Joker?
Joker, yes.
Joker's on every goddamn Batman list.
Joker is the number 1, apparently.
Joker's all right. He's just overused.
Number 2 is Bane.
Bane's really great. I like Bane.
And then I don't agree with this number 3, but whatever. It's Ra's al Ghul.
Oh, Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul's okay. I wouldn't say he's one of the best, but he's kind of a shithead. I like him.
Then number 4 is Two-Face.
Two-Face is cool. He's kind of getting old. He's overused sometimes.
5 is Catwoman, which you...
Catwoman's not a villain. She's an anti-hero. They get married.
You put her in your top 3.
I know, because you asked. I thought that was like what was going to be on the list. I don't consider her a villain, but
6 is the Riddler.
That's a little weird, but okay.
7 is Penguin.
Penguin sucks.
You don't like the Penguin?
He's just like a fat mob guy.
He's got an umbrella that shoots people.
And in Batman Returns, he's like a deformed Danny DeVito baby.
Number 8, Dr. Hugo Strange.
Hugo Strange is fucking a whack job. Hugo Strange is really cool, and I wish they would put Hugo Strange in a movie.
I didn't even know he'd make this top 10 list because I didn't know anybody who would know who he is, to be honest.
Hugo Strange, he's a big Batman guy. He's a big Batman villain. He's like obsessed with Batman. And
then 9 is Poison Ivy.
That's fair. I wouldn't agree with that. That's fair.
Last but not least is Scarecrow.
Scarecrow sucks. The only cool thing about Scarecrow is his fear toxins, but they never write him interesting. He's always just like, oh hey Batman, are you afraid? And then Batman just punches him in the dick, and he's like, no, fuck you.
The only thing I'm afraid of is myself, bitch.
Yeah, pretty much. The only thing I'm afraid of is fucking spiders.
What would be your like top 5 if you were ranking Batman?
Deathstroke, number 1. Deathstroke is badass. He's amazing. I'd probably put Clayface in there. Clayface is an underrated villain.
Clayface is such a dumb villain.
He's not, though. He's really
he's
cool.
Basically just Sandman.
He's not. He's a Clayman.
He's basically Sandman.
Killer Croc is one of my favorite Batman villains. I love Killer Croc. He's a really interesting villain that is solely underutilized because he's just an alligator man, and everyone just looks at him. Oh, you're an alligator, right? And he's like, no, not really. Sometimes, but not really. I'd put the Joker in there, even though he's a little overused. And then probably Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze is fucking really cool because Mr. Freeze isn't really a villain. Oh, of course.
Mr. Freeze.
Of course.
With all his ice puns.
You want to know what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
Oh, man.
All his goddamn ice puns.
I want a real Mr. Freeze in a movie.
I do too. A real Mr. Freeze could be fucking terrifying.
It would be.
That'd be awesome.
Batman.
Patrick Stewart. Put Patrick Stewart in a fishbowl and just have him go freeze some shit.
Batman and Spider-Man have the 2 best villains out of any superhero, to be honest.
They really do.
Like I couldn't name a lot of other people's villains, but I can name.
They Batman. Only ever use the Joker though, which pisses me off.
Because the Joker is the most iconic now that Heath Ledger's Jokers came out.
Yeah, Heath Ledger ruined the Joker forever.
Probably
just gonna fucking nobody can play the Joker, and they're just gonna use the Joker and everything now.
Justice League could have made Deathstroke one of the top ones, but that'll never happen.
Yeah,
we'll get into that. We'll get into that soon.
We'll get into that.
All right. With the DCEU probably ending soon, I figured we could talk about it.
Or possibly continuing or whatever the fuck.
I don't know what's going on.
WB's doing with this fucking franchise.
In case it ends soon, we'll just talk about, I guess, the first couple movies that have come out. The first 7.
First 7.
There's been 7. I didn't even think there had been 7 already, but there has been.
It seems like a lot, but there's only 7.
We'll just go in order, I guess. We'll talk about them. Man of Steel. Let's talk about this movie a little bit.
Man of Steel. Now, I watched Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Justice League last Sunday. I just had like a DC day, and I just fucking had a marathon of all these movies. Man of Steel. I've never understood the hate for Man of Steel.
I don't either. People are split down the middle with this. Either people love this movie or they hate it.
I love this movie. Diehard Superman fans that fucking love Man of Steel, but I also know a lot of Superman fans that fucking hate the movie. So it's like it's kind of just up to like what you want from a Superman movie, and I think it's awesome. I remember John Campea made a video. I think in his Justice League review, he was talking about how much he loved Man of Steel's version of Superman, and how like the story of him, like, you know, the whole movie, he's being told by Paul Kent to like hide his identity, and you can't show people that you have these powers because they'll probably be afraid of you, and we don't want that. We want you to live a normal life and be, experience a good normal life. And then when he meets Jor-El, Jor-El's basically like, no, fuck them. You're going to be a god. Like, go, you're going to be a beacon of hope to all these people. And he's getting all this like conflicting information. And when Zod arrives, he doesn't know what to do. And he ultimately does what's right. And that's give himself up to Zod. And I'm like, and John Campea was freaking out. He was like, that's fucking Superman to me. And I'm like, that's Superman.
And then I like how they go about it is because Superman, his morale doesn't change. He's literally the perfect human being. You can't.
Yeah.
So you can't challenge him that way in a movie. You have to challenge him in different ways. And I love how they do it in this movie. And that's great.
Fucking how I've been saying they should fucking do it. Because I remember growing up and everyone would shit on Superman. Everyone was like, oh, Superman's boring. Oh, he's OP. Oh, he sucks. Blah, blah, blah. So DC went, okay, let's make him a little interesting. Let's give
make
him some
grounded.
Yeah, let's give him some
stakes.
Human relatable problems. Let's make him actually kind of relatable. And they did that. And everyone was like, that's not my Superman. I'm like, go fuck yourself.
Because, I mean, this whole movie, he thinks about the consequences of his actions through the entire thing.
He does. And everyone's upset that he fucking blows up a couple buildings, even though he does that in every animated show he's ever been in.
Yeah. And then in the Christopher Reeves movies, he doesn't think about what he's doing. He just kind of does it, which is...
No, and I mean, in the Christopher Reeve movies aren't perfect either. There's a lot of dumb shit they do in those movies as well. As much as I love Superman 1 and 2, there's a lot of dumb like liberties they take with Superman. And like in Superman 2 when he kisses Lois to like erase her mind.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's not a power Superman has.
They just make Superman have powers that he needs in the moment in the comics anyway, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. But Superman is an actual interesting character, and they've really made him, especially in the last like 10 years in the comics, they've made him like a really likable, fun kind of character. And I feel like Henry Cavill's version isn't necessarily, he's not 100% comic accurate, but neither was Christopher Reeves' Superman. But I liked Henry Cavill's Superman because he felt like a real person. He was dealing with shit, and he was dealing with problems, and there's moments in both Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman where he's in his suit, he's in full Superman garb, and he goes to his mom to like ask her advice, and I'm like, that's the most Superman shit I've ever seen in my life. This godlike figure who can do anything is going to his mom to just say like, hey, what do I do? Like, that's awesome.
Overall, though, I do like this movie, even though I could see where some people don't like it.
I can't at all. I really don't.
I can see how people don't like it. It's a different take on Superman, and if you're very fond of the Christopher Reeve Superman, this is not your movie at all.
I mean, it's kind of just Superman 1 and 2 just smashed together, just with like a slightly more serious tone. Like, it's kind of just the first two Christopher Reeve movies, just told a little differently. Like, I don't understand. Everyone says this movie's dark. It's not.
It's not dark. It's actually very lighthearted, to be honest.
It is. When Superman, he has the scene where he comes out in the Superman suit at first and then he flies and that fucking theme hits, I'm like, hell yeah, dude. That's fucking awesome.
His theme is pretty good. I like the updated version of his theme.
It is. I love the John Williams score from the Christopher Reeve movies, but the Man of Steel theme is pretty damn.
It fits fantastic. This movie. I don't think the John Williams score would have fit this movie.
No. I don't think it would have fit either.
What do you think about the cast? Do you think they were all cast well?
I think everyone except Amy Adams, and it's not that I hate Amy Adams. I love Amy Adams in most of the stuff she's in. I think it's the Lois Lane curse, where Lois Lane isn't that interesting of a character. So when whoever you cast in that role is just going to be incredibly boring.
Yeah, she doesn't have much depth to her. She's just
she really doesn't. She's just, I'm a reporter lady, and I love Superman, and blah, blah. They try to give her a little bit more depth than like Batman or Superman, but it doesn't.
I was gonna say, plus she doesn't have that much to work with from the comics. She's just kind of
she's just kind of in love with Superman, and that's it. And I know they've like done other weird shit with her in the comics, but none of that shit matters.
And then overall, though, what do you get it from an A to an F rating? What would you give it?
I don't do ratings.
What would you do?
I don't do ratings. I would give it damn good out of 10.
I'd give it a B+. That's what I'd give it.
A B+. That's fair. I love Man of Steel. Man of Steel's great.
It's got faults, but
oh, it does. It has a lot of dumb shit in it. Like the way they kill Paul Kent is fucking stupid.
I just want to say, while we were talking about casting, I forgot to say, I love Zod. I love.
Oh, Michael Shannon.
Yeah, I love his take on
find him.
He's just so over the top, and I love it.
Yeah, that was a complaint a lot of people had, and I'm like, did y'all not see the fucking Zod from Superman 2? Like, Zod has always been like this over the top comic villain. Like, that's just Zod. Like, and I think Michael Shannon pulls it off really well.
And then, what'd you think about the ending? You think? I know that was the most controversial thing with this movie.
What's wrong with the ending?
The snapping of the neck ending.
That's fine. Look, everyone, Superman doesn't kill. It's like all those dumb idiots. Oh, Batman doesn't kill. Blah, blah, blah. This was a conscious decision. They made Superman snap his neck. It's not like Superman snapped his neck and then was like, fuck you, Zod, and then like pulled his dick out and pissed on his dead body. Like, no, he snapped his neck and then had this like emotional scream at the end that every time I see that, it gives me like goosebumps, because it's Superman not only taking a life, but taking a life of one of his own that he just met. That he never in a million years thought he would ever see anyone like him. And that's an emotional moment for Superman. And
I always think in my mind, he's always thinking, I just killed like one of the last of my race. Like,
yeah.
I'm the only one left.
Yeah, he's the only one left. I think that's a great moment. And everyone, it's murder. It's dark. I'm like, go fuck yourself. Superman also killed Zod in Superman 2. So go fuck yourself. He just didn't snap his neck.
One of the things I don't like is how they killed Paul Kent. I don't like that.
I don't like that either. Like I said, I had a problem with that.
They should have just kept with the comic version of that, where he dies of a heart attack, because it shows Superman that you can't save everybody.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the whole point of that. And then for some reason, in Man of Steel, Zack Snyder was like, "Oh, we need a tornado." And I was like, "That's a little weird, but okay."
He could have totally saved him, but whatever.
He could have, but Paul Kent was like, no, I don't want people to know you have powers.
Whatever. I think he should have just died of a heart attack or something else. You could change it.
Paul Kent might have wanted to die.
He's just like, fuck it, I'm done.
He's like, fuck all this shit. I'm out.
I hate being a farmer.
Fuck all this farm life shit.
Yeah, but overall, I give it a B+. B+ out of A to F. That's what I give it.
I don't do ratings, so I'm just gonna give it pretty good out of 10.
I know. All right, we'll move on to the next movie, which is Wonder Woman, because we're skipping BVS until the end.
Why?
Because I know me and you are going to have arguments about this.
No, but that's the order it goes in.
Fine, we'll do BVS now.
Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. My dog just threw up on my couch.
Just because you said that, because it knows it's a crap movie.
It's not at all. I don't understand how you can like Man of Steel and not like Batman vs Superman.
Because Batman vs Superman has so many story faults in it that
it doesn't. How does it have story faults in it?
I hate the ending. I hate how they killed Superman. I hate that Doomsday's in this movie.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna kill Superman, Doomsday needs to be in the movie.
Don't do either one. And then I don't like Lex Luthor in this.
Lex is fine. He's different.
I like Batman. Batman's the best part.
Batman's great.
I don't like all the crap with the courthouse and Superman being framed. Superman can't be framed for shit like that. Like what?
He's a superpowered being who can blow shit up. Of course,
it just doesn't make any sense though.
And he's the only one that survived. That makes total sense that people would look at that and go, "Oh fuck, Superman did that." Especially after he was framed in the desert for like burning all those bodies and shit. People were, yeah, of course, that would make sense.
Lois Lane does nothing in this movie.
They try to give her something to do, but she really is just like, oh, Superman.
Her side story is boring as shit.
It really is. And
it doesn't accomplish anything, to be honest. But she goes and looks for like a bullet. And
in the desert, her like notebook got shot or whatever. She finds this bullet and she's like, oh, I think it's from LexCorp. And then it turns out, oh, it's from LexCorp. And Lex Luthor's doing like spooky shit. And then
it ultimately doesn't matter because he just captures her anyway.
Yeah, and then Superman just figured, he's just like, I gotta stop Lex Luthor. So it really, but I understand they wanted to try and give Lois something to do other than just be, oh, I'm here. I love Superman.
I think the action is great. I think every action scene in this is great. That's one of the only ways I can watch this movie is because of that.
I think the story, like, and I completely understand why people don't like this movie. I get it. I'm not like, oh, this movie's a masterpiece. You're just not smart enough to understand it. I get it. It's a weird kind of dark movie that they probably should have built up, over a couple movies or whatever. But to me, this is like the perfect adaptation of like a DC comic come to life on the big screen, because it's like, not only do you have Batman, and the most comic accurate Batman we've seen in a movie. Not only do you have Superman, not only do you have Wonder Woman, but you have the whole Justice League. And what they do with the Justice League in this reminds me a lot of what they do in comics, where it's just like, hey, here's a little tease of something, like when Flash comes back and tells Bruce, he's like, oh, Lois is the key and blah, blah, blah. That reminds me so much of stuff they do in the comics all the time, where they drop something on you and then they just don't explain it for the next like 5-6 issues, and you just have to figure it out as you're reading. And like, obviously we're not going to really see that.
I was going to say nowadays that kind of sucks because we don't get a conclusion to that.
Yeah, because everyone bitches and then they fucking change everything. But like, that's so comic booky, and I love that. And I think Ben Affleck as Batman is fucking incredible, and I hate the fact that he's gone, because he was an awesome Batman. And I love seeing the imagery of the Batman vs Superman fight is ripped straight from The Dark Knight Returns, which is one of my favorite Batman stories. And it's so beautiful to see on screen, him in the fucking armor with the glowing white eyes, and then Superman like in the rain, and they're just like running at each other. Like, I'm like, that's awesome. How do you look at this movie and go, this is garbage? Like, I just don't see that. It feels really long. Whenever I watch it,
3 hours. So whenever I watch it, it feels like I've spent all day watching it. Like that's how I feel.
I mean, it's a long movie. It's 3 hours.
It's just really slow pacing, except for the action scenes. The action scenes are great. Like I said, I love all the action scenes. I love the warehouse scene. It's one of my favorite scenes in the entire DCEU.
But see, I think it's slow because it's building up the motivations on why Batman wants to fight Superman. It couldn't be, if we're going into the universe with them starting out hating each other, if you're not going to build it up and have them be friends and then fight, like in The Dark Knight Returns, you have to build up, you have to have a solid reason why they fight. You can't just go in and be like, oh, they kind of hate each other, whatever, fight. That you got to build that up a little bit. And I think the movie has a lot of solid build up to why Batman hates Superman and to why Superman thinks Batman should be stopped. And I think it worked out really well. And you need the setup.
I do think that, but I don't think the setup was that good because whenever the fight actually happened, I felt like there were no stakes in it. Like I was like, Superman's not going to die. Batman's not going to die.
Well, I mean, going into the fight, Superman didn't want to kill Batman. So Superman's not trying to kill Batman. Batman is trying to kill Superman.
Yes.
So there's stakes there.
There are stakes of...
And the fact that Superman did actually die in the movie does give that fight stakes.
He does,
because
but
he
it's
could
not
have
from Batman.
He could have still died in that movie, though.
He has nothing Batman related killed Superman.
You could say... No, you could say that Batman creating the spear ultimately caused Superman's downfall, because without it, he wouldn't have been able to stab Doomsday, and then Doomsday wouldn't have stabbed him in the chest.
Yeah, but if Lex Luthor didn't make Doomsday in the first place, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, but Doomsday would have happened whether or not Batman and Superman fought anyway.
Maybe.
So, because that's just Lex being fucking Lex.
But still, I remember watching it in the theaters, and I was like, I don't have any stakes in this whatsoever, because when I watched Civil War, I felt like there were stakes. I was like, I could totally see Cap dying here. I could totally see him going down, Tony feeling regretful, and he's dead.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of comic book movies. I don't go into comic book movies expecting everyone to die. I don't know why. I remember watching movies with my brother and stuff. He'd always be like, "How come nobody fucking dies in these movies?" And I'm just like, I don't go into these movies expecting everyone to just die. I go into these movies like Ant-Man. I don't go into Ant-Man expecting fucking Ant-Man to die a horrible death. I go into Ant-Man to laugh and have fun. I watch Batman vs Superman just to see two comic book characters that I really enjoy just be on screen and fight each other.
I also think they should have fought for a little bit longer. I think it was a little too short.
The fight is a little too short, but I enjoy the fight. I think the fight's really fucking cool.
But let's talk about the controversial scene in this, the Martha scene.
That scene, I remember, I hated that scene when I first saw it because I was like, this is fucking weird nonsense. But that scene actually makes a lot of sense, especially when it's regarding Batman of all people, because people tend to forget Batman is a fucking lunatic. Batman became Batman because he's tortured by this one day when he was a kid where his parents died. He's not all there in the head. So if all of a sudden this alien man that he's trying to stab in the chest with this kryptonite spear says his mom's name, he's going to freak out about it. He's going to react to it. He's not just going to be like, oh, that's weird, and stab him. He's going to be like, whoa, hold up, what? And it's also really cool because that means Superman won that fight because he outsmarted Batman. Which is really fucking cool.
You say that a lot. I just say Batman would have won if he wasn't a lunatic. But
yeah, but that's Batman's character. Batman is a lunatic, though. There is no Batman without him being a lunatic.
I still say Batman won that fight. He could have totally easily killed Superman.
No, but he didn't. If I'm standing over you with a knife and you then say something to get me to stop, standing over you with a knife, you have won that fight. You outsmarted me. I don't know
if Superman did that intentionally, though.
I think he did, because why would he refer to his mom as Martha?
So he knows who it is. He probably doesn't know.
How the fuck would Batman... How many Marthas are in Gotham? Save Martha. Okay, I gotta go save 50 people? I think he did it intentionally, because Bruce Wayne is a public figure. It shows in Batman vs. Superman that he is researching both Batman and Bruce Wayne. He probably found out that, his mom's name is Martha. I can use this if I ever need to. And then he does. When he's in a situation where he has to use it, he uses it. And he outsmarts Batman, which is fucking really cool, because Superman would do that.
I think it also, for Batman, whenever he says it, he kind of realizes he's not just some alien dude down here doing whatever he wants.
Yeah, he has a mom, and he is, and that's...
He's got the humanity.
In Justice League, there's a really kind of cool line from Batman where he's yelling at Alfred, and Alfred's like, we can't bring back Superman, blah, 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 blah. And Batman just turns. It's such a good scene, and it sucks that it's in a bad movie, but he just turns, and just when the softest voice, he just goes, Superman was more human than I was. And like that's such a cool fucking moment in that movie, and I love it because it's just so like subtle and like basic. And this is when he realizes that because he has not only does he have a girlfriend or I guess a fiance in Batman vs Superman, but he has a mom, he had a life. Like he is kind of ultimately more human than Batman in some ways, and that's what Batman comes to find out in the Martha moment. And the warehouse fight gives Martha moment even more context because it's Batman projecting his own mother on Clark Kent's mother, and he's given his fucking all in that fight scene because he's saying like, I couldn't save my own mom. If I could, this is what I would have done, and that makes that warehouse fight so much fucking better.
I love the warehouse fight,
and that's Batman. Like, I don't understand. Like, there's so many things in this movie that people say, "Oh, Superman wouldn't do that. Why would Superman stab Doomsday in the chest?" And then I'm like, well, for one, everyone else was busy. Batman can't fucking get near Doomsday or else he'll die. Wonder Woman was holding him with the fucking light. She couldn't do it. And sacrificing yourself to save a bunch of people that don't fucking like you is the most Superman thing like in the world. And I don't see how like you can look at that and be like, oh, that's not Superman, because it is.
I'm fine with him doing it. I just think they pulled the Doomsday card and Superman dying way too early.
Oh, they did. I'm not saying that. This was right and the death of Superman done right, because they could have. I think for the universe Zack Snyder was setting up originally, I think it makes sense and I get it, and it definitely plays into Batman's arc on him not killing people anymore, and in Justice League he's trying to be a little bit more back to his old ways of not killing and stuff, and you can tell he's still kind of fucked up in some ways, but they did kill Superman a little too early, I think, in the second movie.
The funeral scene could have been so much better if you had set up Justice League already and gotten more characters. It would have been great for the Superman death scene. It's
still a good scene, I think. It's just not as impactful as like Iron Man dying in Endgame when all the Avengers are there, and it's this glorious thing.
Then they also go at the end and they tease that he's coming back. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's dumb. I never liked that. That was dumb.
Don't do that, especially for people that aren't avid comic book readers and don't know he's going to come back.
Well, I mean, everyone going in, like, I remember telling my brother that, like, oh, Superman dies at the end. He's like, how the fuck does Superman die? Like, people know that Superman's not going to die anyway. So, like,
but still, you could have gotten some people and been like, oh shit, he's not coming back.
People also don't care about Superman. People are like, okay, cool, he's dead. Like, all right, cool, the movie's over. Batman was cool. Fuck Superman. Like, people don't care about Superman.
I guess. Well, what about the cast in this one? Gal Gadot and who else did they add?
I don't like
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons isn't in Batman vs Superman.
He was in Justice League. Right?
I don't like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I seem to be the only person that doesn't really like that. She's kind of growing on me as I see these movies more and more, though, where it's like I'm kind of just being like, all right, whatever. She's Wonder Woman. I got to get over it. She's fine in this movie. She doesn't really do a whole lot. I love Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yeah,
he's the best on-screen version of Batman we've ever had.
Well, Jesse Eisenberg
is gone. Jesse Eisenberg, his Lex Luthor is weird. There have been versions of Lex Luthor that are kind of like crazy and eccentric and kind of out of their mind. I get kind of what they wanted to do with that Lex Luthor, where he like gradually kind of like gets a little bit more crazy, but because it's Jesse Eisenberg, he starts off the movie already kind of like eccentric and crazy and weird, and then just gets even more eccentric and crazy and weird. And I think if you had a more normal like actor, he would have started off a little bit more like the classic Lex Luthor and then got crazier throughout the movie, and it would have people probably would have liked that a lot better. He's fine, like whatever, I don't care.
He's a wacky Lex Luthor, to be honest.
He's not the best Lex Luthor, but he's
is he? I don't even know. He's not even Lex Luthor, right? Like they kind of
in the movie, he's Lex Luthor Jr., but he is Lex Luthor. Like he just happens to be a junior. It's not like, oh, the real Lex Luthor's out there somewhere. Like, no, he is Lex Luthor. He just happens to be a junior.
I have faults with this movie. I know you love it.
I do too. I have problems with. I'm not saying any of these movies are perfect. I have problems with these movies too. These movies are fucking dumb. But I just love seeing two characters. Like, I fucking love Batman. Everyone knows that. I probably annoy tons of people with how much I talk about Batman. I don't care, because Batman is awesome. And seeing Batman and Superman fucking just beat the shit out of each other on screen, like, how can you not look at that and go like, holy shit, this is awesome?
Overall, I'd give it a C-.
So you don't hate it, because you give it a C.
I mean, there's only a D or an F to go any.
Yeah, but a C is still a positive rating.
And the only reason I give it a C though is because of the action. If the action was garbage, I would give it probably an F, to be honest, or a D, depending on the cast, because the cast also makes it for me. Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill are amazing.
I love Lawrence Fishburne in fucking everything he's in.
Same.
And he's a sarcastic fucking asshole in Batman vs Superman, and I love it because Lawrence Fishburne, he's so fucking charismatic in everything.
I forgot. What about the after credit scene? Steppenwolf. How'd you feel about that?
There is no after credit scene in Batman vs Superman.
There is. It's Lex Luthor talking to Steppenwolf.
No, that's in the movie, Devin.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
That's right before Lex gets thrown in prison. There's in the ultimate cut. It's in the movie. It's not in the theatrical version, but in the ultimate.
In the theatrical, isn't it end credit scene?
No, there's no end credit scene at all.
You sure?
Yeah, I've seen this movie a million times. There's no after credit scene. There's no after credit scene for Man of Steel either. No,
I know there is.
Not a lot of them have after credit scene.
All right, well then never mind.
I think it's only Justice League, Suicide Squad, and Shazam that have after credit scenes, I think.
Well, never mind then. Let's move on to the third DCEU movie. Suicide
Squad.
I don't even know if I want to talk about this that much. It's garbage.
I mean, it's everyone on the internet has fucking ripped this movie a new one. I love them setting up the world of Gotham. Like seeing all these characters like Killer Croc and Harley Quinn and stuff like interact with each other is really cool. I don't know what the hell happened in this movie though, because it's not good. This is not a good movie. I don't fucking get it.
It's hot garbage. It's such a big event that you would think some other superhero would get involved with it.
Yeah, where the fuck? I think in the movie they're in Central City, and that's the Flash's city. But where the fuck is the Flash?
It doesn't even matter. Where's Wonder Woman or what's his name? Batman. I forgot Batman's name for some reason.
Batman was too busy looking up fucking parademons, I guess.
Still, there's other superheroes in this universe, obviously. Yeah. And you would think an event like this where there's basically zombies walking around and there's a bomb in the middle of the city or something.
Well, the biggest issue is that this should have been like a smaller, more character-driven movie, but then it just devolves into, these normal human beings have to fight a god. And I'm like, for Batman, that makes kind of sense because Batman, can be a little bit more exaggerated and over the top. But Harley Quinn literally just has a baseball bat. And she's taking on a god. I'm like,
there's a guy with a boomerang.
There's Captain Boomerang. And then Will Smith with guns. And I'm like, all right, like these are real people taking on gods. And like that's dumb and stupid.
And
this movie would have been better. Yeah, and they waste Killer Croc. Killer Croc was fucking wasted in that movie.
And they got Diablo.
Awesome. El Diablo, who's probably the best character in the movie, but
he is. I like him.
He's not given a lot to do. And I like Will Smith as Deadshot. I think him as Deadshot was a great choice because Deadshot kind of sucks in the comics. I've never really been a huge fan of Deadshot in the comics. He's just been like a crazy fucking lunatic, and I'm just like, all right, cool. And he's got this weird reason why he can't kill Batman. It's fucking dumb. But in the movie, Will Smith is a charming fucking actor, and he can fucking nail anything. So he gives a lot of life to Floyd Lawton, and he does a really good job. I would have liked a little bit more interaction with Batman, though.
I was gonna say we get a little cameo.
We get a couple cameos, and we get an after credit scene with Bruce Wayne. But like the one scene where he interacts with where it's Batman and the Joker in the same scene, they don't say a fucking word to each other. Batman's just on his car. He doesn't say like, "Hey, Joker, like stop," like, but he's just chilling on the car. And then Joker's just like, "I'm the Joker, bro." And then he drives into a puddle.
And then Batman punches Harley Quinn in the face.
Batman punches Harley Quinn, which is fun. But it's just like you could have done so much more with Batman in this movie. He didn't need to like be. I love the fact that he was just a cameo, that he would just kind of popped in here and there. But like, you have all these iconic Batman villains, and they just do nothing with Batman. I was like, this sucks.
And then I know that they're setting up for her to be the villain, but the Enchantress should have been the team if it made logical sense. She was the most powerful of the...
Well, she shouldn't have been in the team either way. It's the same problem I have with Justice League, where it's like Superman shows up in Justice League and just does everyone's job. So it's like the team is kind of useless. I don't understand why they put a god in the fucking movie anyway.
I was going to say, if you were the humans in this, you'd be like, what the fuck do I need all these other people for if we have the Enchantress?
Yeah, why are we god? She can do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And it's all Amanda Waller's fault. This entire movie, Amanda Waller's at fault because she got Enchantress and she like fucking stabbed her heart or whatever. And then she just doesn't like take any blame or responsibility for it. And I know Amanda Waller's like an asshole. But like, you did this, you dumb bitch. Like, this is your fault.
You dumb
Take
bitch.
some responsibility for your actions, all right? You're a grown woman.
Let's talk about the cast. How do you think it was casted? Do you think Jared Leto's Joker, Will Smith?
I mean, Jared Leto's Joker, again, Heath Ledger ruined the Joker forever because nobody can play him because everyone's going, oh, he's not as good as Heath Ledger. Jared Leto was fucked going into this role either way because either he copies Heath Ledger and everyone gives him shit for copying Heath Ledger, or he does his own thing and people bitch that he's not Heath Ledger. His Joker's fine. It's nothing special, but it's fine.
My issue is that he just goes a little too over the top with it. That's my.
You're telling me the Joker's over the top? The Joker's supposed to be.
Jared Leto is going over the top, trying to be the Joker.
Yeah, I could see that a little bit. I think I like his Joker because his look kind of doesn't match with the Joker, and that to me kind of makes it a little bit more like kind of creepy and unsettling, where he looks like a gangster, but then he's laughing and doing all this like flamboyant like Joker stuff, and that kind of makes him kind of creepy in some scenes. And I'm like, that kind of works, and I would love to see that Joker interact with that Batman, and I could see Jared Leto's Joker getting like a fist fight with Batman, and that would have been awesome. But he's not Heath Ledger, so fuck him.
And then what about Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn?
Margot Robbie, I don't really like her Harley Quinn. Her design in general just fucking sucks. It's awful.
Where's her big hammer? I want the fucking big hammer.
They tease the big hammer when she pulls out the suit, and she's just like, "Oh, hey, remember the suit that I wear in the cartoon? I'm not wearing that in this movie." Margot Robbie, I mean, she did a fine job. She's not really the best actress in the world, but she did fine, I guess.
And then Rick Flag. We didn't talk about Rick Flag.
Rick Flag, the most boring fucking DC character ever created. He's just an army guy.
I think this movie just fails because of reshoots, basically. If you go back and look at the first trailer looks really good. The first like Comic-Con trailer is like dark and it looks like a fucked up like serious film, and then they were like, oh, we gotta fucking shoehorn jokes in it because people don't like fucking serious movies anymore. Yeah, and then Guardians of the Galaxy came out and they're like, oh, that made a lot of money.
Yeah, we gotta make this a goof fest. And it's like, no. And I think the movie would have worked if it was a little bit darker and because it's set in Gotham. Gotham's not, it's not set in Gotham, but it has a lot of characters from Gotham, and Gotham isn't like a happy place. Gotham's kind of a shithole.
Overall, I give it a solid F, to be honest.
Yeah, I would agree with that. This is really bad.
I don't know if I'll ever rewatch it. I've seen it, I think, twice, and it was bad both times.
I've seen it a couple times. I have it. I don't think I'm ever going to watch it ever again because I really don't need to.
I remember even watching it in theaters. I was like, this isn't very good. But I remember people liking this movie when it first came out.
People really like this movie. It's mostly like the mainstream audiences who like don't really like care about movies or anything. They're just like, oh, it's fun. Harley Quinn, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, it's not. I think it's the worst entry in the DCEU. That's my opinion.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
All right, we can move on to Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman was a huge disappointment for me. I remember when we went to go see Wonder Woman, I was the only one fucking excited for a Wonder Woman movie. Everyone was like, Wade, you're fucking crazy. It's Wonder Woman. It's going to suck. And I was the only one that came out fucking hating this movie.
I liked it when I first saw it. It's good on the first viewing. The second viewing, I'm like, this is really boring.
It's so boring. I tried to rewatch it a second time because I was like, am I missing something? Like, was I just in like a bad mood when I saw this? And I watched it and I was like, this is so boring.
Just like nothing.
Wonder Woman, a dumb idiot. Like, I don't understand how people can look at this Wonder Woman and say like, oh, she's like empowered. She's a powerful hero that women can look up to. Like, she's a dumb idiot in this whole movie.
See, and everybody says that like, oh, she's a good superhero, a female, and I'm like, she falls victim to all females though. They make her like talking about how beautiful she is and all that crap. And
exactly, yeah. Oh, she's super hot. Isn't that funny? We got a super hot actress who can't act. She's super hot, isn't she? Isn't that funny? And the one female villain in the movie, she lets go at the end. And I'm like, she's just as responsible for killing all these people as that other fuck is.
Isn't Hades the villain or something?
Hades is like the god villain, but that other guy, the general, whoever the fuck that general guy is, who's killing people through most of the movie, who you think is Hades, because the movie tells you it's fucking Hades until the end.
Yeah.
And then they try to have like a smart twist in it. I'm like, that's not a twist. You just fucking brought a character in that was in one scene and said, oh, now he's Hades. I mean, that's not a twist.
I don't even remember a lot of action in this movie. I remember the slow-mo action.
There's some. There's the one where she's like on the battlefield with the shield, which is actually kind of cool.
But then I remember the house. There was like a scene in the house where they're like,
that comes like right after that.
Yeah, and I remember they introduced this is where they introduced the slow-mo action. I was like, this is cool. But then I was like, this really slows down the action and it makes it
really
feel
does
slow-paced.
The action, that's the only cool action scene in that movie. Not only because it has the fucking Wonder Woman theme behind it, which is fucking awesome, and it sucks.
The best theme in the entire DCEU.
The fact that they like ruined it in Justice League by making it like orchestral, because I love the hard rock, like it's so badass. And I think that's the only scene in that movie where that theme plays, which sucks.
And then I don't even remember the end fight or anything like that. Usually I can remember the end fight. She
like flies up in the air and then like shoots lasers at Hades and then he explodes and she's like, oh, I'll be back.
And then they pull a Captain America First Avenger and they kill Chris Pine in a plane.
Yeah. And he's going to be back in the next one. So
somehow. Don't know how that works.
Well, apparently the Wonder Woman 84 isn't a sequel. It's just like a movie. I was like, all right.
Fuck it, whatever. The cast for Wonder Woman, what do you think?
I mean, the cast is fine. I mean, again, I don't really like Gal Gadot in the role. I think they could have got like Emily Blunt, who's a fucking real life badass, and she would have been a great Wonder Woman. You could have got Rebecca Ferguson from the fucking Mission Impossible movies, who was also a fucking badass. You could have got a multitude of women that I think would have been better, but whatever.
Do you think they picked Gal Gadot just for looks?
Oh, for sure, because she wasn't really an actress. She was in like one Fast and Furious movie and then like a couple other movies just as the hot girl in those movies. She wasn't an actress. She was a model. And I think Zack Snyder cast her and was just like, hey, you're fucking super hot. Be Wonder Woman.
Yeah. I mean, I have issues with this movie, but I don't think it's the worst thing ever made.
It's one of the worst comic book movies I've ever seen.
It's very boring.
But I fucking hate this movie. And I hope Wonder Woman 84 is great because I would love like a dope, badass live action Wonder Woman movie. This movie just failed in all accounts.
Yeah, it falls into the stereotypical woman superhero thing, which everybody says doesn't happen, but it clearly does in the movie if you're paying attention. It
also happens in Captain Marvel, but it's a woman, so it doesn't matter. It's fine.
I don't think it happens as much in Captain Marvel as it does in Wonder Woman, but it does happen.
Yeah, I'd say it happens more in Wonder Woman, where it's just like, oh, look how hot you are, and blah blah blah. And Wonder Woman's so dumb. This movie's so fucking stupid. When Wonder Woman like shows up, and she's like half naked, and she's just like pulling, and Chris Pine's like, no, don't blah blah blah. I'm like, Wonder Woman is smart enough to assess the area and see that she's clearly not dressed appropriately. She's not a dumb idiot. They do this. Marvel does this with Thor, where I'm just like, Thor's not a dumbass. I don't know why they just made him a dumbass because they want to make a funny movie. Like what? I don't see how any Wonder Woman fan can watch this movie and say like, oh, this is a fucking Wonder Woman film, because it's fucking not. It's bullshit.
Overall, I think I want to give it like a C+.
That's way too high.
I don't think it's terrible. I just think it's super boring and super slow paced, but I can see how some people like it.
I can give it like an F-.
It's not a ranking. There's no F-.
It is on my list.
Is there anything else you want to talk about it before we move on?
No, let's move on to the next one.
Your favorite movie, Justice League.
Not my favorite movie, but I've seen it like a million times.
We've talked about this before, but it could have been so good.
I rewatched it Sunday, like I said. Justice League isn't god-awful. The cut we have now isn't god-awful. There's some good stuff in
it's got moments.
Version of Justice. It has some really good, awesome comic book moments. It has some really good dialogue between some characters. But at the same time, it's got a lot of dumb, stupid fucking nonsense in it that doesn't make any goddamn sense and almost kind of ruins the DCEU in a lot of ways.
Because they remade it so much that They just changed everything, basically.
Yeah, it's a completely different movie. Zack Snyder said he hasn't even seen it.
And that's what,
how much stuff they changed. It's insane.
And that's what I think ruins it, basically. You first of all, don't start off with the Superman lip scene. Fuck that. Cut that out.
That scene, for one, that's the writing in that scene is really bad. If you listen to what the kids are saying, it sounds everything that those kids like ask him is fucking retarded. They're like, hey, Superman, like, you want to be on video? It's for our podcast. You ever fought a hippo? And Superman's just like, what? He's like, why the fuck would I?
Every time I've seen it, I don't even listen because I'm just so focused on that fucking lip.
Goddamn lip. And I get what they were going for. They wanted to show like Superman be like, oh, I'm for the people, but it was just a bad. The lip aside, that's a bad scene. They shouldn't have.
It should have been cut. It doesn't add anything to the movie.
Yeah, it's just there.
And then, what isn't the Batman rooftop scene directly after that?
Yeah, which I like a lot of shots of Batman in that, like when the criminal comes out and then shuts the door and you just see Batman like in the reflection on the building next door. Like that's man, that's fucking awesome. But then he does a lot of dumb shit in this scene as well, where he does this like triple backflip off of like a water tower. And I'm like, all right, that's a little fun, but it's a little goofy. And then he like grabs a parademon and just like rides with him like in the sky. He's just hugging him. And then they land on the exact same building, and that criminal guy's still tied up, and then he just leaves that criminal guy on the roof to fucking starve to death, I guess.
Batman has too many quips in this movie.
Oh man, they turned him into Tony Stark. He's Tony Stark in that movie.
Like I remember watching it in theaters. Like, what are they doing to Batman right now?
Oh, I don't not like you. It's like fuck you, Batman. In what was it? I think Justice League or Justice League Unlimited. Superman and Batman are friends, and Superman acknowledges that they're friends, but Batman never would ever acknowledge that he likes Superman in any capacity. Even if he does, which he does in comic book stuff, he has acknowledged that Superman is a far better person than him, and he is like, they are friends, and he really does care about Superman, but he would never admit that to Superman's face. He would never even allude to that a little bit, so that scene's fucking stupid.
He should have just not said anything in that scene in Justice League. Just left it alone.
Yeah, it should have been like Superman said. He's like, and to think, I thought you didn't like me. He should have just been like, I don't. Let's fucking continue. Fuck you. Like, he should have just continued on with like, we got shit to do here, Superman. That would have been a lot better. And then when Superman throws him into the police car or whatever, and he's like, oh, something's definitely bleeding. I hate that.
He shouldn't have said anything there. He should have just got fucking up.
Batman would not acknowledge that he is bleeding, especially around godlike figures. He would not want to show any sign of weakness to any of these fucking people. That scene is dumb, and they didn't need it in the movie. And I also noticed, right before Superman like grabs him and is like breathing in his face, he just says Clark's name like outright without the voice changer. But everyone in this scene is so like nonchalant. There's like 4 cops over there. Everyone's just saying, oh, Clark, don't do this. So I'm like, everyone knows Superman's Clark Kent now because everyone's just nonchalantly saying his fucking name. Like, Jesus Christ, this is dumb.
He made the quip, oh, he is tall.
Oh, he is tall. Fuck you, Batman. You're also like 6'8". Like, Jesus Christ.
There's so many things wrong with Batman in this movie.
But there's a lot of good. Again, there's that one scene where him and Alfred are like in his weird room where he's just got samurai armor for some reason. And they're just having this like casual conversation about Superman. I'm like, that's like, yes, more of that. Less of this other quippy dumb shit.
Let's talk about the Superman revival scene. What'd you think about that?
It's okay.
Specifically more of when he's already back to life and he's fighting everybody.
That scene has never made sense to me. And I've tried like rewatching this movie several times to figure out if there's a line that like I missed or something, but like they never explain why Superman doesn't fucking remember anything, but somehow remembers Lois in some way.
And Batman. He remembers Batman.
And he kind of somewhat remembers Batman, but he doesn't remember that they like teamed up at the end of Batman vs Superman and fucking kicked Lex Luthor's fucking ass. He just remembers that Batman's like an asshole. I'm like, why? Like, why is any of this happening? And they also, in that scene when fucking Superman goes to punch the Flash in the fucking head, they play the John Williams theme. And I'm like, this is the most out of place fucking spot to play that theme.
I really do feel like in the Snyder cut, something else was going on in that scene, and they left the music in. I don't know, though.
I think that scene was in the Snyder cut because it was behind the scenes of that scene. I think that scene was going to happen, but I think the music was completely different.
Plus, his lip doesn't look that bad in that, so I don't think it was a reshoot.
Because most of that is from Zack Snyder, but there's just no explanation. And there's before when they're talking about reviving Superman with like the mother box or whatever, there's some like one-off line that like somebody says. I think it's like Cyborg or Aquaman or somebody. Who's just like, "What if he comes back and he's just like a fucking demon or whatever?" And Batman's just like, "Ah, fuck you." And then like they just don't have a conversation about it. And there's no explanation to it, whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool. Let's just fucking. It's Justice League is like how I described X-Men Apocalypse, where like it's just noise. It's just colors and sounds, and none of it makes any sense. It's just fucking noise.
And then what about the final battle? The
final battle is actually probably the scene I like the most in it, because it's the team working together. There's scenes of Batman and Aquaman like doing shit, and Flash and Superman like running together, and it's fucking like it's from the comics and shit. And Wonder Woman's kicking ass, and like, but that's a lot of fun. Even though Steppenwolf is a shit villain, and I feel like the Justice League together without Superman could have defeated Steppenwolf because he kind of sucks, and they get rid of his axe, and then he's just like, oh fuck, I'm scared and I don't know what to do, and then the parademons get him.
I hate so much how Superman just comes in and is like, well, fuck the rest of the Justice League. I'm the best.
I mean, and that's kind of, and this is why I thought this is how I thought they were going to implement the black suit into the movie, because originally the black suit, if I'm remembering correctly, the black suit had like panels on it. So when Superman like came back to life, he was weakened, and the panels helped him absorb more like yellow sun energy, so he could get a little bit more powerful. And I thought they were kind of going to go with that, where it's like, oh, he died, but he didn't die technically or whatever, but he's like hibernating or whatever, and he has to come out of hibernation to help the Justice League fight, but he's weakened. So that's how you can kind of justify that, okay, he needs the Justice League to help him fight. But no, he just shows up, it's like, yo, Steppenwolf, and then just fucking punches him in the dick, and he goes flying. And then Steppenwolf's just like, I'm scared. And I'm like, all right, cool. So this whole thing that Batman has been doing for the last 3 movies, because even the Suicide Squad, the post-credit scene of Suicide Squad was him going to Amanda Waller and being like, I want the file, I want everything you have on all the metahumans. He's been building the team since the end of Batman vs. Superman. Now it fucking doesn't matter.
What about the cast? Ray Fisher, Jason Momoa.
I like the cast. I think Jason Momoa is a good Aquaman. He wasn't given a whole lot to do in Justice League other than like, oh, my man. Which is fun, but he doesn't really do much, especially in the end fight. He just kind of throws his trident at fucking parademons and stuff. Ray Fisher actually was kind of good in the Cyborg role. I just think they made him incredibly uninteresting. And from what I've seen from the behind the scenes of like Snyder's version, it seemed like he was trying to like, it almost seemed like Cyborg was like going to be the main character in a way, because there's a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor from Cyborg, and it was like, it would actually be kind of interesting if Cyborg was the main character, if he was like the heart and soul of the movie. That would be fucking cool. But in the final cut, he's just not really given anything to do. Ezra Miller needs to like tone it down a little bit as Flash. He has some like, he's all right, but that whole brunch fucking thing. I don't know what is brunch. I don't fucking understand it. But Batman would have just been like, "Shut up, let's fucking go." Like, fuck you.
Oh, give me one sec. I think somebody's knocking on my door. Give me one sec.
It's a package. Do 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 do. Was someone at your door?
I'm back.
Was there someone at your door?
Hey, he's fucking trying to sell me something.
Fuck him. We got a podcast to do.
All right, what we're talking about? Ezra Miller or something?
Ezra Miller. He's an okay Flash, I guess. He's not great, but
yeah, I wish like I said, I wish there was more Cyborg in this. I really liked him in this movie.
Yeah, they actually like tried to do something interesting with him, but then it all ended up on the cutting room floor, which sucks.
Which, when I saw the trailers, I thought he was going to be just like Iron Man in the movie, and
that's how they made him look in the trailers.
Yeah, and I was like, ooh, I don't know how I feel about this, because he was making quips and he was flying around in a metal suit and all that stuff, and I was like, ooh.
You should probably move. That scene wasn't in the movie.
It wasn't, and it probably would have been hilarious if it was. But
it's just him. He just stops a fucking police car. You should probably move. Like, that's it. That's all it is.
It's just funny though. It's just funny.
I guess I don't get it, but
Steppenwolf sucks. I know we've said this before.
Steppenwolf sucks. At least like make him look cool, which his original design, which is how he looks in Batman vs Superman, he looks fucking badass.
He's just a gray blob.
In Justice League, he's just this like gray asshole who kind of looks like Jeremy Irons, and just with this big dumb fucking helmet. And I was like, why should we be scared of you? Why did Batman think you were a threat? Like,
I don't know.
Wonder Woman could have took you on and fucking stabbed you in the dick with her sword. Like, he wasn't menacing, he wasn't interesting, he wasn't anything. And it's just like, oh man.
I don't know. There's a lot of things wrong with Justice League, and
there are.
It could have been a great movie. It could have been Avengers level good movie, and it wasn't. And
I will, until the day I fucking die, I will say this: Avengers: Infinity War is the best Justice League movie ever made.
Is 100% true.
Because it is.
It is. If you just replace Justice League with the Avengers and Darkseid with Thanos, it's probably is the best Justice League movie.
Exactly. Yeah, it is. It has the Batman Superman fucking team up moment with Cap and Black Panther. It has the funny quips that people want, but it also is fucking people fucking dying. It's spooky and it's serious. Like it's the perfect Justice League film.
I mean, at least Avengers is doing something right, but Justice League so far is not.
Yeah. So far.
It's worse than Avengers 2. Justice League is so, and I think Avengers 2. Yeah, I think Avengers 2 is the worst of the Avengers.
I'd say Avengers: Age of Ultron is a better movie, but I would rather watch Justice League. Just because, for one, it's shorter. Because Avengers: Age of Ultron is a little too fucking long, and not a lot happens in it. It's like 2.5 hours, and it's just like, all right, let's get to the fucking point. Justice League's like in and out. Like it's like 90 minutes.
I don't know if that's a good thing though, but
it's not. But again, like if I was to watch one right now, I'd rather watch Justice League just because it's not 2.5 goddamn hours.
My overall ranking though, I give it a C.
See, so it's not that bad, and it really isn't. I mean, it's not great. I have a lot of problems with it. I think it is a bad movie, but everyone knows that I love to watch bad movies, and I can just watch bad movies all fucking day. And out of all of the other bad superhero movies, it's nowhere near like the worst. I've seen far worse.
It's not Origins. It's not Suicide Squad. Oh my god,
no, not even fucking close. I would watch if someone had a gun to my head and was like, "You can either watch, if you could only watch 2 movies for the rest of your life, Justice League or Suicide Squad." I'd pick Justice League fucking any day. Fuck Suicide Squad.
100%.
Fuck that noise.
We didn't talk about the end credit scene. What'd you think of Justice League?
The first end credit scene is fucking amazing. I love it.
It's wholesome.
The Superman Flash race. It's totally a fucking nod to the comics. It's fun. It's fun without being like pandering. I feel where it's like it's not just like goofy like boo boo boo, but it's a fun interaction between Superman and Flash that makes them kind of feel like real characters. That gives them kind of a bonding moment. And then it ends with the screenshot or like the freeze frame of them like running into the screen. Even though Flash fucking has no idea how to fucking run,
he runs so weird.
Insane.
He's like flailing his arms.
And I've heard people say like, "Oh, well, he's not an athlete. He wouldn't know how to run." Even I know how to fucking run, and I'm not an athlete.
Flash doesn't. It doesn't matter. That's his thing. Is that he runs.
Yeah,
he should know
and he trips over his feet like 2 or 3 times in the movie. I'm like, why are you the Flash? You're a fucking dumb idiot. But that's a great after credit scene. I love that after credit scene. And then the second one was great when I originally saw it. Because I was like, oh shit, we're getting the Legion of Doom and we're getting Deathstroke and hell yeah, this fucking DC universe, they're continuing it. Fuck the haters, man. But then nope, fuck all of it. And apparently there was news actually that Joe Manganiello is just like they're not doing anything with him as Deathstroke. Like it's officially like done.
It irks me so much because he looks so dope as Deathstroke.
He did. He really did. We're never going to see Deathstroke in a Batman movie.
We won't. Unless he's like in the Batman secretly and we just don't know it.
He won't be because they got 4 other fucking villains that they need to reuse.
What if it's all just a ruse? What if Deathstroke's actually the main villain and they're just like throwing these names out here to
I mean, that'd be cool, but
throw you off.
I don't think Matt Reeves gives that much of a shit about Batman to give a flying fuck about putting Deathstroke in it.
And it irks me so much that Justice League end credit scene is just going to go nowhere because
yeah, it sucks.
It was arguably one of the best parts of the movie.
It was because it's a classic post-credit scene. Like I was saying with Far From Home, it's a tease for more that gets you excited to see more. That's what a post-credit scene should do. And it did that. I did not expect that. When I was like, I did not expect. I probably thought we would see Lex Luthor again or something, but I did not expect to see Deathstroke. I was like, hell fucking yeah, dude, bring it on, bring on the Batman, bring on Ben Affleck versus Deathstroke. None of that's happening anymore.
I was gonna say it's not happening anymore.
My life sucks.
It may have happened in Ben Affleck's version of the Batman.
But... Oh, it was. That was gonna be the plot. That's what they were fucking setting up, and then they just fucking fuck you, Ben Affleck.
See, this is why you shouldn't do post-credit scenes if you don't know it's set in stone yet.
Well, everyone wanted them to do post-credit scenes because they were like, oh, fucking Marvel has post-credit scenes. You need to do post-credit scenes.
Marvel actually has a plan to what the fuck they're doing.
DC had a plan too.
They had a vague plan.
They had a plan, and then everyone was like, nope, fuck Batman vs. Superman. I don't blame WB. Well, I blame WB a little bit, but I blame the audience for the colossal fuck up that is the DCEU. Because if people didn't go see Batman vs. Superman and bitch that it was too dark, we would have gotten the Snyder cut of Justice League, and we would have had a better film. Whether or not his cut would be good, would have been far better than what we got.
Overall, like I said, I give it a C. It's not terrible. It's got great moments, some great moments in it, but it's not that good either.
It's got some good moments in it. And I love the shot of the Justice League standing there, even though it's clearly not Ben Affleck in the bat suit. It's not his face at all, but whatever.
Isn't that
Batman
ripped?
And Superman?
That's ripped straight from like the TV show, isn't it? Isn't there that scene where they're like all standing together? Isn't there like a scene with that in the TV show, like in the beginning of a TV, like the opening credit?
No, there's something similar in the opening credits of Justice League where they're all like silhouetted, like walking towards the screen or whatever.
Oh yeah,
it's meant to be like sort of an homage to that, but it's not exactly the same.
It sucks that may be the only time anytime soon those characters will be in the same movie together, which sucks.
It's probably going to be the only time because they want to do like 15 other universes at the same time, and we're never going to see this Justice League team ever again.
Which sucks because I think that it was cast great. I don't know if you could have done better with Superman or Batman casting wise.
Cast was great. Henry Cavill fucking looks and sounds like Superman. Ben Affleck, people can shit on Ben Affleck all they want. He is Batman in every way, shape, and form. He was a drug addict, but like whatever.
Robert Downey Jr. was too before he became Iron Man.
And honestly, that would help him in the role a little bit more if he was a drug addict Batman.
I don't know. I feel like we've talked about this too much. So we move on.
Let's move.
Aquaman. Kind of recent.
We saw this together in the theater.
I did.
I don't hate this movie. I don't like out of all of these movies. I don't hate this.
I want to say I don't hate it either, but there's just so much wrong with it that
it's not a good movie. I'm not saying I'm not like praising everything.
I've said this before. There are 4. I think it was 4. I counted it. There are 4 times that 2 people are having a conversation, and then an explosion happens and just ends their conversation.
I didn't notice that, but probably yeah.
But it just seems like they just didn't know how to end conversations. They're like, fuck it, let's just make an explosion happen.
They fucking didn't.
And like it's just like if you can't even end a conversation, how do you write a cohesive story?
You don't. That's the problem.
This movie.
And I think the biggest mistake of this movie, and I know I talk shit about Thor Ragnarok and stuff, but this is the ultimate movie that should have been Thor Ragnarok. It should have just been like a dumb, fun, like buddy cop, like fuck yeah, Aquaman movie. But the jokes in this movie are so incredibly bad and boring, and the tone of this whole movie. We saw this movie at 2 in the afternoon, and I wanted to fucking go home and take a nap afterwards. I was like, this is so boring.
It felt so long.
It was only like 2 hours?
I think so.
And it felt like it was like Batman vs. Superman. It felt like it was like 3 hours, 10 minutes. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, move on.
I remember we were sitting in the recliner seats too, and I was like, this is so comfortable. I could go to sleep right now.
Yeah. And it's just, man. And I noticed there's so much like bad CG in that movie that was stuck out like a sore thumb. Steve Harvey's in it for some reason, and then he fucking dies in like the first 5 minutes. And then Black Manta, the actor they got to play Black Manta, is so fucking bad he's so bad that they had to fucking kill him off halfway through the movie.
I love his look.
He's not even dead.
He looks dope as shit.
His suit, and I'm totally surprised that they went with a fully like comic accurate Black Manta suit, because Black Manta's suit looks fucking retarded. But they fucking did it. They were like, fuck it.
It actually looks dope, retarded. And I love it.
It looks awesome. But we only see it for that one scene, and then Aquaman just like throws him off a cliff, and then he's out of the movie. And they don't bring it back up until the post-credit scene, which is like, all right.
and it was kind of obvious, like, oh, you haven't seen Black Manta in like 2 hours.
Yeah, I remember like halfway through the movie, I was like, we haven't seen Black Manta like at half the movie. Like, is he just dead? Like, what happened? You're like, I don't know. And then we saw the post-credit scene. I was like, oh, okay.
It's just, and then what? Okay, how do you feel about the action in this movie? Because it's kind of different from all the other movies. It's got all the one shots and stuff like that.
Yeah, that one shot was fine with Nicole Kidman at the beginning. As much as I can tell, a one shot, filmmakers need to understand that a one shot is not impressive, especially when you have millions and millions of dollars. It's what you do in the one shot that makes it impressive. Like the one shot fight scene in Daredevil season 3, like that fight scene, all the shit that they did in that fight scene. While having dialogue and switching between action and dialogue and like taking breathers in between that one shot, like that's impressive.
The choreography made that scene.
Yeah, having $300 to $400 million to do a one shot. Give me $300 to $400 million. I could make a whole movie in one shot. Because most of those one shots aren't even one shots; they're like stitched together.
I know, that's how you do one shots. You make it look like it's one shot.
Yeah,
and then I could tell that the actress. That wasn't her. I knew that wasn't her.
Yeah, that was not Nicole Kidman at all. Nicole Kidman's in her like late 50s. That was not her.
It was not her in that scene. What about the rooftop one shot? I think it was a similar one shot.
It was Black Manta. One shot. That was fun. I mean, the whole Black Manta, like the Aquaman Black Manta like fight scene was fun. I enjoyed that. I thought that was the funnest part of the movie.
And then how did you feel about Atlantis and the settings and all that?
Atlantis could have looked a little better. I didn't like the underwater effects where their hair was just like floating and they were just kind of like floating and looking all weird and shit. I didn't really love that. I don't really know how you could honestly like accurately portray Atlantis without it looking completely fucking utterly goofy and dumb. I mean,
based on what we saw, it looked like it was just a bunch of bright lights, to be honest. That's what it looked
like. Most of it, yeah. And it's weird because I guess they retcon what happened in Justice League when Aquaman and Mera first met, and they had to create the bubble, the air bubble to talk. I guess that just fucking doesn't matter anymore.
They're like, well, that's gonna be fucking annoying in this movie, so let's just not do that.
Yeah, that was a smart decision. I'm fine. That's a retcon that I'm fine with because it would have been annoying if every time they wanted to speak to each other,
they made a bubble,
fucking create an air bubble. I didn't like Jason Momoa in this movie. Again, I don't think he had enough fun things to say. He wasn't fun like he was in Justice League, and I also think that like Aquaman is kind of unlikable for a lot of this movie. Like at the beginning when those guys come up to him and they're like, "Oh, hey, you're Aquaman. Like, can we take pictures?" He's just like, "Oh, fuck off." And I'm like, "Go fuck yourself, dude."
I thought it was hilarious when they were doing that thing in the desert and they needed water to activate it. He's like, "I could have just peed on it." I thought that was funny. Oh, that was funny.
That was cute. And they played Pitbull for some reason, which is weird.
Yeah, that was.
They come out of the beach and then they just have this Pitbull song. I'm like, what year is it?
This is from 2009.
Yeah, this is from like a weird like 80s film. Like, what the fuck is this?
Then I like the lore in Aquaman. I like how they set up the lore.
Oh, dude, Aquaman in the comics has some fucking badass lore. The lore of Aquaman is awesome.
I thought they did it really well in the movie, to be honest. Like that was the most interesting part. Was
they did most of it was just like exposition, and it was just really boring. It was just
but I like the Kraken thing guarding the trident. I thought that was interesting and all that stuff.
That was interesting. I just wish I could see what the fuck was going on in that scene.
Yeah, true.
It was so dark. I couldn't fucking see anything.
I don't like that they brought back her mom in that place. That was just weird. I didn't understand.
Yeah, that was weird, and I kind of knew that they were going to do that. I was like, you're not going to kill off Nicole Kidman 5 minutes into this movie. She's coming back. And then she doesn't really do anything.
And then the story is basically Black Panther and Thor.
It's so together. Black Panther, it's not even funny.
It's basically just a ripoff.
It's beat for beat Black Panther, which is hilarious. Which is a shame, because I mean that is kind of Aquaman's kind of story, but like you could have did something a little different. Like, come on.
Right. And then the final battle is just a CGI mess.
I mean, the final battle, are you talking between like him and Orm?
No, I'm talking about the huge
fight thing that they do.
I'm talking about the huge battleground.
Oh, the underwater fucking thing?
That's just a mess.
I will say that it looked great, like visually. That and when they jump down in the water and all like the monsters come out, like those are some really cool visuals. But yeah, that it was a big CGI fuckfest of just nonsense.
I don't even remember too much about him fighting his brother. I don't remember exactly what happened.
They get on like some submarine and then they just have like a fist fight or whatever. And then it's
I don't remember anything interesting happening.
Aquaman like spins his trident and it creates like a wave or something, and then he like kills his brother or something.
They didn't kill him.
No, didn't they set up that like only the true believer of the Trident can wield the power? And I'm like, all he did was spin it.
No, only they set it up like Thor's hammer. Only the true king can take it from the Kraken. Or
yeah, but after that, they were like, it has some power that only certain people can do, and you have to know how to do it. And then he just spins it at the end. And I'm like, all right, I can fucking spin that thing.
I don't know. I've only seen this movie once, and it was in theaters.
I have too. I've been tempted to like buy it and rewatch it, but I like the shot of Aquaman coming out of the waterfall in his fucking suit. Like, that's fucking badass.
I'm actually so surprised they gave him his comic accurate suit because it looks so dumb. And
I thought it looked good in the movie.
It looked good in the movie, and I'm surprised it looked as good as it did because it's just a dumb premise. But
it is really sad. And I think it would have looked a little better. It is. Well,
in the comics, it's basically just spandex.
Yeah, so sometimes it's armor, but most of the time it's spandex. I think the suit would have looked a little better in the movie if they like cut his hair a little bit, because the long hair and the orange shirt just doesn't really mesh well.
Yeah,
but it looks good.
Yeah. But we forgot to talk about what about the trench scene? How'd you feel about that?
That trench scene is fucking. It felt out of place a little bit because it just kind of goes into like a horror movie all of a sudden. But again, like right as they like jump into the thing and all the monsters, like that's like a gorgeous shot. That's a beautiful looking shot.
It is. I agree with you. It did. It came out of nowhere, to be honest.
It did.
It's just
that's because the director is a horror director.
But like he didn't do any of that through the entire movie until that point. Like he just kind of like, oh, we're at the trench. Oh, it's super scary and dark and rainy, and there's these monsters.
Shit here, yeah.
There's just a lot wrong with this movie.
There is.
I don't think it's terrible. Again, there's a lot of DCEU movies that are just kind of bland, and I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, Aquaman's kind of the ultimate, like whatever.
Like you only need to watch it once, and you're like, okay, I never need to watch this again.
Yeah,
you know? Like, yeah. I give it the same as Justice League. I'll give it a C. It's about the same level.
C. I'd give it like an out of 10.
An eh.
An eh.
And then, so is there anything else you want to talk about Aquaman? Though?
Nope.
All right. The last and not least, Shazam, the newest member of the DCEU.
Shazam was fucking great, dude. I love Shazam.
I thought it was great. I'm actually surprised on how good I thought it was, to be honest.
I was too. When I saw it, I was like, holy fuck, this movie's actually like really great. I love it.
I have some issues with it, but overall I thought it was good.
What are your issues with Shazam?
I think they pulled the Shazam family out way too soon. They should have waited until the sequel. They
really did, but I think the director probably was like, we probably won't get a sequel, so let's just do this now.
I thought they should have set up that Shazam can hold his own by himself.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think they totally blew their load. Because, like, what do you do for a sequel?
Exactly. Like, do you take his family away and then you do something? Like, I don't know.
That'd be real dumb.
I have no idea. How did you feel about the lore? Did you think they did that okay?
I think it's fine. I mean, they didn't really, like, get into a lot of the lore. But the stuff that they did mention, there was a Black Adam reference, which was cool. Even though we're never going to see Black Adam.
That should have been the post-credit scene. If they were going to...
Oh, man, that would have been so much fun. The Rock just, like... It could be the fucker, whatever his name is, the Wizard Man, whose name is, I guess, Shazam. He would have been like, oh, you know, I'm glad I found you, or whatever. Then it just could have been like The Rock, and he just pulls down his hood and turns to the camera and gives his, like, eyebrow thing. That would have been so much fun.
That would have been awesome.
I would have fucking lost my mind if that happened.
And then for an origin story... I remember it more than most origin stories, to be honest.
It's a pretty good origin.
It is, because it's not Superman's origin, but it's someone it's a kid that gets Superman's powers, and they're just like, this is exactly what I imagine a kid would do with this sort of stuff. Make videos, testing out their powers, stuff like that. Going into buy alcohol.
Oh, that was so much. That scene was so fucking great. I love it so much. They actually, because I know a lot of people bitch that, like, in the trailers, like, oh, they get soda. Why the fuck would they get soda, not alcohol? But then in the movie they get alcohol, then they fucking taste it, spit it out, because alcohol is fucking battery acid, and then they go in and get like snacks and like candy and shit. And I'm like, that's fun. That's a fun fucking scene right there.
I thought it was very surprising how good it was, considering how bland the past couple movies in the DCU were. I was like, this could fall into that category of being bland. But it didn't. It came out actually. I was surprised.
It was great. I loved it. I loved it.
How'd you like the villain? I don't even know his name. I don't remember.
Dr. Parnassus or whatever the fuck his name is.
I couldn't tell you. I don't remember his name at all.
He's from the comics. I can't think. He's got a generic fucking Doctor like Insidious or whatever. I like Mark Strong as an actor. He's been in a ton of DC stuff and a ton of comic book movies, and I don't know why he's in he's in like the Kingsman movies. He's in Green Lantern. He's in fucking Shazam. He's in Kick-Ass. Like he's in all these comic book movies for some reason. I guess he loves doing it. And I thought he was good in the role. I just why are you giving him this weird character though?
I don't remember much about the villain, but I remember there was one creepy scene where I think he goes to that office building where Shazam's dad is, and I was like, this is kind of terrifying.
No, that was where his dad was. He went.
That's where his dad was.
All those monsters and just complete. That scene was fucking awesome.
I just remember. I remember that scene. That's the only thing I remember about him.
It was awesome to me because it felt out of place. It was like this dark, because the movie was very lighthearted, but this was like this extremely dark, emotional fucking scene where he just comes in and just kills his fucking dad and then just walks out like nothing ever happened. I'm like, that's fucked up.
It's like that's a villain right there.
That's a fucking villain, yeah.
That's a true villain.
Even though he kind of sucks and he's not memorable at all.
And then what'd you think about the cast, the kid actors and adult actors, I guess?
I thought the kids were actually pretty good. The kid playing Freddy was really funny, and he could have gotten annoying really quick, but he didn't. And I actually really liked his relationship with Billy. The kid that played Billy, I think, could have been a little bit better. He had some moments where I was like, you're not great, but you're a kid, so whatever. And he's a little too old, too. He looks like he's like 18. Age him down a little bit.
I think he looked good. I think he looked fine for his age.
He's a kid, but he looks like, he looks a little old.
I will agree. Some of his dialogue was like, what is that?
Yeah. It wasn't great sometimes. But I fucking love Zachary Levi.
I was so glad when they announced that he was going to be Shazam. I was like, okay, this movie could be great.
Well, when they announced him as Zachary Levi, it was like when they cast Robert Pattinson as Batman. I was like, that's totally out of left field, but I fucking love it. Like, I wouldn't in a million years picture Zachary Levi as Shazam, but I fucking loved it.
And I know he says he doesn't wear one, but I know he's wearing a bodysuit. Sorry, Zachary Levi. I know he says he doesn't.
He totally is. He's wearing a fucking muscle suit.
He says he doesn't, but he totally
He's a liar. He's a liar. He did get jacked. He did, put his way in.
But he's not that
to get no, he's not fucking Henry Cavill or Ben Affleck or anything. But he did. There are behind the scenes of him working out just to because he doesn't want to be like, oh, I'm just some schlub and I'm wearing a muscle suit. You're a superhero. Work out a little bit. But he was pretty fit. But I love how dumb and clear. It's so clear that is not his actual body, and I fucking love it. I find that hilarious. His head is too small for that body, and that's fucking hilarious. I love it.
What'd you think of the story, though?
I thought the story. This is kind of. I think this movie is what people kind of wanted from something like Batman vs Superman or Man of Steel, where it's it has the perfect mix of dark, kind of fucked up serious shit. At the beginning in that car wreck scene that was kind of unsettling, and I was kind of like, this is a odd choice to make in a fucking movie that's probably mostly aimed towards kids, where they get in a car wreck and the dad just fucking flies out and he's on the ground just paralyzed and he can't move.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm like, this is a dark fucking way to open your movie about a kid superhero. But I fucking loved it. But at the same time, there's so much fun and jokes and levity in it. But the jokes aren't I wouldn't even really call them jokes. I would just say it's just two kids fucking around with powers and stuff. Because Thor Ragnarok has jokes in it that didn't land for me. This just felt what would happen if two kids got superpowers, or a kid got superpowers and his friend was like, hey, we gonna be superheroes. And it was just it all felt so natural, It all just felt like two kids goofing around.
It's something you would do if you got superpowers.
It's something I would do now if I had superpowers. I'd go to the fucking gas station down the street and just be like, yo, give me fucking all the sweet tarts in the world.
I'm a superhero.
I'm a superhero. That line, I don't know why that line cracks me up, but it does. Hey, I'm a superhero. I don't know why that fucking cracks me up.
Because it felt natural. It felt like something somebody would say.
That might have been improv. I don't know.
It could have been. I thought the story was good, but I thought it could have been a little better. There was just some things that was okay, this is just your normal superhero movie, but
yeah, it definitely falls in the origin kind of thing.
But overall, though, I give it a B. It was a good movie.
I loved it. I think it's like third on my list. I fucking loved it. And I want more. I want more DC stuff like this.
I do too, but not from the Batman.
No, Batman needs to be. If we get a lighthearted, fun Batman movie, I'm fucking leaving.
That's what the Batman's going to be.
I don't want that shit.
He's going to be making quips.
He's going to be doing the fucking bat dance from the 60s show. The Bat-Tusi.
He's going to pull an Adam West. He's going to be the next Adam West.
I mean, if they go full bore with it, fuck yeah, I'm there. I'm all in. But they wouldn't do that ever.
What is the next DCU movies? It's Wonder Woman, right? 84?
Technically it's Joker.
It's not the DCEU though.
But yeah, I think Wonder Woman 84 is the next DCEU movie. Or no, it might actually be. I think it's Birds of Prey because that comes out in February, I think.
I thought Wonder Woman came out in November this year.
No, Wonder Woman got pushed back.
Oh yeah, that's right.
A little bit for some reason. I don't know why.
Every DC movie's getting pushed back.
Yeah. So I think it's Birds of Prey then Wonder Woman.
All right. Well, you ready to rank these?
I already have them ranked on my phone.
All right. You want to go first? Because I know our ranks are different.
Number 1, Man of Steel.
All right.
Number 2, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
That's where I'm going to disagree with you, but keep going.
You shut your mouth. Number 3, Shazam with the exclamation point because that's how it is on the title. Number 4, Justice League. Number 5, Aquaman. Number 6, Wonder Woman. And number 7, Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. Well, my list is similar. We have the first and the last one the same. I love Man of Steel.
Man of Steel is great.
It's great. Yeah, number 1, Man of Steel. Number 2, exclamation point, Shazam.
Wait, it should be Shazam, exclamation point.
No.
Because it's at the end.
I do it backwards, man. That's how I do it. That's how I roll.
You do you.
Number 3 is Wonder Woman.
So wait, Shazam is your second?
Yeah.
And then Wonder Woman is your third? Really?
Yeah. 4 is Aquaman.
Okay.
5 is Justice League. 6 is BVS. And 7 is Suicide Squad.
You're such a fuck, and I hate it.
I've told you my issues with BVS. And
I have issues with it too.
Sticking with that ranking.
Oh, man. No, you're wrong.
It's an opinion.
Your opinion's wrong.
I'm sure there are some people that have Man of Steel at the bottom of their list.
I know people who have Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman at the bottom of their list. They say it's as worse as Suicide Squad, but it's fucking not.
Suicide Squad is the worst. It's the only one I gave an F. Everything else I gave, I think, a C or higher. So
you like a lot of these movies. You like most of these movies.
Everything 1 and 2 are great. Shazam and Man of Steel I love. 3, 4, 5, and 6 can all interchange depending on the day. Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Justice League, and Batman vs Superman, I feel like, for me. But they're all on equal level, about, give or take.
But you still like them because you give them a positive rating.
A C doesn't mean I like them. It means
a C is not an F.
It means it's meh.
That's a positive review.
It's a meh.
It's not a holy shit, this movie's awful.
Suicide Squad is that. It's
so they're not Suicide Squad, therefore you like them.
I didn't say I like them. I just say I have issues with them.
You do. Just admit you like them, Devin.
I don't.
You do.
I like moments in them. I don't like the movie as a whole.
I think you're lying. One of these days, you're going to confess. And you're going to admit that you like most of these DC movies. You fuck.
Nope. I like Man of Steel and Shazam. I told you. I like those.
2 out of 7. I mean, I'd say my 1 to 5 or 1 to 4 I enjoy. I mean, Justice League is my number 4. And again, it's not great, but it's fun. I can watch a movie and turn my brain off and just enjoy dumb nonsense.
You like about half of them?
Yeah, almost. Or a little bit more than half, yeah.
All right, it's fair enough. We'll see how Birds of Prey ranks in there. I'm going to guess for me it's going to be number 6, but
I have a weird feeling it might beat out Suicide Squad.
No way.
From all of the behind the scenes I've been seeing of that movie, it looks so bad.
No fucking way.
It looks so fucking weird, and like they just slapped together like a fucking they got a comic and was just like, who's in the comics? Let's fucking cast these people and just threw something together. It looks so bizarre in like a not a good way.
I don't think there's no way it can be worse. Suicide Squad was hot garbage.
It's possible. They did it once. They could do it again.
Hot garbage.
They can do it again. Well, this has been, what is this, episode 5? What did I say at the beginning?
Episode 5.
Episode Cinco de Mayo of the Real Duo Podcast, a.k.a. the Keanu Cast, a.k.a. the only mediocre podcast on the interwebs. Boom, done. I need to come up with some kind of like.
You need to like a
quote or something.
Quote for the end. Like, don't forget to eat ice cream or something.
Don't forget to eat ice cream. What the hell does that even mean?
I don't know. Just don't forget to eat ice cream. Don't put spoons in the microwave.
Don't put spoons in the microwave. I'll just say something random at the end of every episode.
Just a fun fact. Some stupid fact.
Don't put spoons in the microwave.
Unless you want your house to burn down.
Shit, Jesus. Boom, episode done.